It's Friday and you're welcome to Breakfast Central on News Central. This is your morning starter, and we always advise that you take a dose with you wherever you go to on Breakfast Central. Today is another day to look into the biggest stories coming out from Nigeria and possibly outside Nigeria. In South Africa, the story is indeed changing because it's about xenophobic attacks, and not forgetting to a lot of African countries are starting to wade into the situation. If you come back here in Nigeria, the story continues with insecurity still bedeviling different states and different areas. You could say from the north all the way to the southwest, which happens to be one major story we'll be looking into this morning on Wake Up Conversations. And in sports, of course, South Africa had a 1-1 draw yesterday, and definitely we're looking forward to see more games to be played. But hey, my name is Joe Hansen. Good morning, and thank you so much for staying here. I've got Benga Borowa, who's back in the house.
Why did you jump to Benga? I was hoping
I'm jumping now.
You introduce me first so that I can introduce Benga last and tell them that the team is complete. Now you have jumped.
It was a table of men.
It was a so it's called process. It's called process.
The patriarchy will not stand.
Process. Benga Borowa is in the house. Benga, welcome. It's good to see you.
It's good to be back, and I am speaking with an extra spring in my step. You know what I mean?
I don't know what you mean, man.
But it's good to be back, and so many things happening across the world. Today is Friday in Geneva, Switzerland. The Trump administration and the Iranians were putting pen to paper to sign a peace deal. But before even that happens, the price of Brent crude oil has tumbled. It's around 70-something dollars from a peak of 100 and something in the height of the war. And the implication of that is that the price of petrol is going to come down and, some less inflationary pressures. So that's some bit of good news for you this Friday. And the World Cup, yes, Bafana, Africa's representative, one of, played a draw yesterday. A lot of people were not too happy, but I'm sure by the time they play Korea, Africa's true color will show.
Yeah, you saying that?
Yes, I am Benga Borowa. Sit back, relax, let's have a great time. Today is Friday here on Breakfast Central. I hand you over to the delectable Olive Emodi, our younger sister on this show. Hello, sister.
Thank you so much, my senior brother. Thank you.
Let me start confessing, because...
No, before you confess, let me do my intro, then you confess. Thanks and God bless.
Yes, as a journalist, we have to report, we have to tell truth to power.
Well, yesterday was a day
of celebration for certain people. We could see that Congo scored its first ever goal in the World Cup. So congratulations to Congo, congratulations to our Ghana brothers and sisters. We, of course, are there vicariously by certain people being there. We're supporting them, we're rooting for you. Well done. Thank you for joining us this morning on Breakfast Central. If this is your first time watching the show, my name is Olive Emodi, and this is the best Breakfast Central on the continent, best breakfast show.
Clock it.
I said, clock it.
Clock it.
It's a Friday edition, and Mother Confessor is here. You may now confess your sins.
Yes, let's confess our sins. While you were away, you're part of the family now. It doesn't. Anyway, before we start confessing, let's give a shout out to Queen for standing in, and also
Chiwetel. Thank you so much, Chibo. Thank you.
It was great to have you.
They'll be back.
They'll be back. The mix. Yeah, they'll be back anytime soon. But yes, this confession will need that Nollywood soundtrack. Because Olive, people you've been doing show with, let me just confess my own personally. First, the ask of you, I told Mr. Ekechukwu Amechi, I sent you to go and buy Opa.
Normal now.
So now, let me now report Joe Hansen. He had one yellow girl that was taking your position. Joe.
Wake up conversations, guys.
Joe did not read YouTube comments. He said, "Where is Olive?" He said, "Is that the name of a name, place, or thing?"
Wow.
Did you or did you not do that?
Yeah. Wow. I like the way Benga is reporting this.
You see, God will bless you, Mr. Johnson. He says, Olive, when you're not on set, Benga says a totally different thing about
okay,
my enemy.
You see, when God fights your battle.
Let me to report myself.
Okay.
When you were away, I said that Queen was a better option, that they should replace you with Queen.
Quickly.
That Queen adds so much color to our show.
Wow.
Since I knew that you will have dragged me under the bus, because you are a snitch. Okay, let's settle our scores. God truth, 1-1.
1-1
Let's draw.
Okay, God will not allow us to be afraid of going on break, because you already know that once you go, it's over for you. Johnson, please go on break.
No, it's loading, it's loading, it's loading.
Okay.
It's coming.
While I was on break,
due.
while on holiday in Safari, I was monitoring Breakfast Central. If Chinwete talked too much, my heart used to be beating. Jomalo Bashelo over me, Yami. Speaking, then he used to speak some big English that even me, that is the owner of the show, I know they speak. My mind did not rest during that holiday.
Management, please don't break up our relationship. We're happy together.
Oh my goodness.
Let's now start today's conversation. It was very important that we started with that laughter, because we're about to start this wake-up conversations with a very, very, very sad story, as it really is the case a number of times in Nigeria. In a trending video that has gone viral on social media, police officers of the Nigerian police force recently expressed shock after discovering that Owa Onire town has been completely deserted. This was once a bustling agrarian community and home to the famous Owu waterfalls. The town now lies silent, its markets empty, schools abandoned, and homes left in ruins after years of repeated bandit attacks have forced the residents to flee, leaving behind only memories of what was once a thriving settlement. During a coordinated operation involving drone units, mobile police, and anti-kidnapping squads, officers entered Owa Onire expecting to meet residents. Instead, they found a ghost town. The abandonment of Owa Onire highlights the devastating impact of insecurity on rural communities in Nigeria. Police officers described the situation as unacceptable and pledged to push for sustained security measures to restore confidence and encourage displaced residents to return. Let's take a look.
Kwara State. See where we do. Nobody did in this town again.
Gonna be this place there, see the
The people in this town, all of them, they have run away. Kidnapper don't pursue them from this village. So, but I'm doing video. Can you go? She shine up. This is my first time to marry with kidnapper approaching your crony. Somebody to one lumo. Loot it down. Somebody to one is more. They say Owa Onire, Kwara State. Batambo agba oro jáde sí gbogbo ẹ̀bẹ̀ gbogbo yẹn lágbà.
All right, so what you see there in the footage is actually an amusement, especially amusing to the police officers who were sent to, carry on a check. To them, you could hear what he was saying. For those who don't understand Yoruba, he was simply saying that this is the first time he's seen where kidnappers would chase people away from a whole community, like people away from a whole community. So it's shocking.
So there was a report that in this whole community, there's one person that was left behind, the Prince of Owa Onire. His name is Lekon, and he decided to stay back to sort of build or rebuild his life, just basically staying there. Joe, there are too many layers of sadness that this video provides, and there's several reasons. One is the fact that they had been raising these alarms. They had been raising these alarms not today. It's not until we had the community attacks. Yeah. They had been raising alarms of bandits chasing them from their homes. It is when these people left that help has come. Two, here in Nigeria, in Edo State, for example, they'll say things like urban Odigo transfer. And it's symbolic of the fact that as traditional rulers, they are the first line of governance within any community. And traditional rulers, they're firmly placed in their communities. All the traditional rulers, except, the prince, all of them have fled. So even if they wanted to rebuild their life, that sense of leadership, community togetherness that the monarchs would have typically provided is not there. So zero motivation to return. 3 is showing a completely failed state. The fact that we have, a community like this that has been completely abandoned. This is a picture of what Nigeria's state of insecurity is. This is a representative of it, and a very, very sad one, to be honest. And the sad part is that this will not be the end, Gbenga and Joe.
It's not the end, and I disagree with you when you say help us come. Help us not really come.
Yeah, that's why I put help in quotes.
Yes, because they're not going to be, the officers and men that you see in that video are not going to be permanently stationed in Owa Onire to give the community a sense of security, in order to encourage them to return to their lives. And like you rightly said, it's a sad reflection of the state of things. Imagine this community has had people living there continuously for years, maybe even decades, and to see everything, live communities, schools, little children playing, bustling markets, all of that deserted. This is like one of those ghost towns you see in movies, and it's just a sad reflection that the people will not take a chance with government promises to secure their lives. So they had to move on. And talking about returning, it will take a lot for people to return because they might be used to where they've gone to and started a new life.
I understand. It's a tough one. They find themselves in a very tough situation. But this is a major conversation we're going to have today. But what we're going to do right now is just pause on this conversation. We do have a guest who's joining us this morning. I will just need to break into wake-up conversation this morning. But let's just remind you that you can hold on to your thoughts and feel free to drop a comment or two on all socials if you can. Let's tell you that in an extraordinary show of endurance and humanitarian commitment, Nigerian cyclist and a Rotarian, Captain Olatunji Emmanuel Okedeyi, has embarked on a 12,200-kilometer journey from London to Lagos to raise awareness and support for global polio eradication efforts. Traversing 13 countries across Europe and Africa, the expedition is aimed at reminding governments, communities and development partners that sustained immunization and public awareness remain critical to ensuring that no child is left vulnerable to the disease. Joining us this morning and breaking here into Wake Up Conversations is the incoming president of the Rotary Club of Mushin Golden, Captain Olatunji Okedeyi. Thank you so much for making it this early, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Great. First of all, where are you at the moment, and what inspired you to undertake this physical, or you could say physically, mental journey from London to Lagos?
Yeah, thank you. Currently, I'm in Dakar. That's about 350 kilometers away from Mauritanian border. That's where I'm currently at. And hopefully after the interview, I will start moving towards the Mauritania border shortly. And in terms of motivation, I grew up in the hospital. I grew up with my parents working in the hospital in Nigeria. My dad was an ambulance driver. Part of what he does is going into the local community to campaign about the polio and also to talk about the local people to take the vaccination of polio. So I grew up and I also saw the impact of polio on children. I saw where children are amputated. I saw on some serious occasion where children died of polio. So that stuck with me from my childhood, and that's the reason why. And when I joined Rotary Club, I discovered that Rotary has also been doing this for a long period of time as well. So it's another push as well that make me to want to do something about polio, and also to raise awareness of polio, and also to raise funds so that some children also might benefit in terms of getting those drops that they need.
Okay, you say that you're doing this to be able to raise funds for polio. How do you intend to go around this? And why is it important to continue raising awareness about this disease?
So currently we are on GoFundMe. We have GoFundMe account, and we also have an account in Nigeria as well, where people have started donation. I think I started my journey 7 days ago. Today, Friday, makes 7 days when I've started as well. I've crossed through Sahara Desert. The last 3 days has been very intense, has been very, at some points, very challenging. Wind has been blowing, trying to blow the bike off my hand because I'm in between desert and sea. The road, so the sea will blow. As you can see behind me, I'm behind the sea, and the road is just in front of me, just a few meters away. So the breeze from the sea will breeze to you, and then you have the tailwind, and you have the cross gusts that will be coming in to blow you off your bike when you are moving. You cannot slow down and you cannot move faster. You need to measure in terms of your movement as well, so that you are able to sustain. And yeah, it's been very challenging, but I'm here because of a purpose, and that's what I'm sticking at.
We must commend your courage. It's physically challenging and demanding, and I guess you're doing this to send a message. But what message are you hoping to send to governments and health stakeholders through this initiative?
Yeah, the message I'm sending is that polio has been on for quite a long period of time. We were able to, part of the conversation during my journey as well, a lot of people that I met on the road, they were asking me, coronavirus was there within, short period of time, but polio has been on for donkey years, and we haven't got to the end of polio. Now, what are we doing to eradicate polio? So I'm appealing to our government, to parastatal, individual, and stakeholders that we need to be on board. We need to take this seriously, because until polio is eradicated on the surface of the earth, we are all not safe. Afghanistan and Pakistan still have polio, as I'm talking to you now. And people travel, they move from one place to another. So somebody can bring in polio from the other side. And also to our mothers at home as well, for them to vaccinate their children from the age of 0 to 5 is very important, so that you can keep that immunity on for those children. And I don't know, today is my birthday as well. So
oh, happy birthday.
Thank you. So I'm going to be appealing to our viewers at home as well to use this opportunity as well for my birthday wishes to donate. I don't need any gift, but the gift is to those children, and any money that is donated will go to the polio. So I'm wishing and also requesting viewers at home and all our well-wishers as well to donate to the polio. We are looking to raise £100,000 towards polio. And Bill Gates and Belinda Gates are going to be launching this morning as well. So that will be able to give about 50,000 children the immunization they need. And that is my appeal to everybody that is listening to me this morning.
All right. So for people who want to access the information to this GoFundMe website, is there a website, a social media handle that they can access?
Yeah, we do have a Ima Ride for Zero Polio. Ima Ride for Zero Polio. We are on all social media. We are on Instagram. We are on Facebook. We are on X. We are on Twitter. Ima Ride for Zero Polio. So you go on it, you'll be able to find them. And also, I think on your platform as well, the YouTube channel, there should be our accounts. We've got the Nigerian account as well. We've got the Sterling account. We've got euro, dollars, depending on wherever people want to donate. We are able to put this together to work. But we are looking forward to your donation, and we hope that we'll be able to raise this amount of money to support those children that's going to need it.
Okay, as we wrap up, maybe we're struggling to hear you a bit, and we understand that you're in a very windy area, so the wind is drowning out your voice, so if you can speak louder. Some of the challenges, you've covered thousands of kilometers and crossed multiple countries with a bicycle, is that correct?
Motorbike.
No, it's a motorbike.
All right, correct.
Yeah,
all right. What would you say have been some of the biggest...
850cc, yes.
All right. What would you say have been some of the biggest challenges that you've encountered? Have you also expressed or nursed the fear of insecurity whilst on the road?
To be honest with you, I have not experienced insecurity on the road so far. I came through Paris, Madrid, Marrakesh, and also now currently I'm in Morocco. I've spent about 3 days or 4 days in Morocco. I've gone through deserts and lonely places where the only thing that keeps me going is my music that I'm listening to. And in terms of insecurity, no, that I've experienced so far. And I'm opportune as well to meet an elderly man, a 68-year-old man coming from Italy on his bike as well. He's going to Senegal. So we are both heading to the same direction. So we've been keeping company as well. But the wind has been the challenging aspect of it through this journey. The wind is when you say it's very windy, it's just going to throw you off the bike. And my bike is an heavy bike, it's not a small bike. So, but I've been able to, it was a struggle at some point, but yeah, I still have about 400 or 500 kilometers to get out of the windy area. But if you're able to see at the back of me, that's in Mauritania at the other side, but I need to drive all the way down to get to Mauritania. And I'm hopefully today, I'll be crossing the border today. But there's still more country to cover, but I know with the support of God and also the support of everyone at home, definitely that will be achievable.
Thank you so much, Mr. Olatunji. Thank you for joining us, and we wish you all the best in your journey and in your accomplishments. We look forward to connect with you again.
Congratulations.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Okay.
All right. Let's bring the conversation back here to Nigeria. We're talking about the updates regarding the ghost town. And I shudder to imagine if someone within Nigeria decided to do what Mr. Emma is doing and says, you know, I'm going to ride a bike around Nigeria.
Mazino does that, though.
Well, no, he does that.
He's calculated
He's
about
very
it.
calculated. Can he drive all around, say, okay, I'm going to visit every state in Nigeria in a few days? Lagos around the 36 states with a bike in 2026. But is that a risk people will be willing to take?
Isn't that an irony and a pathetic situation that you can no longer move around even in your country?
It's really sad. I mean, Owa Onire is a testament to government's failure, repeated failure to deal with insecurity. You talk to them about insecurity, we're doing something about it. They say
on top of it,
state police and forest guards, that's all.
You know,
so forest guards and state police will bring the community back in Owa Onire. You know,
Kwara State has been hinged on this insecurity issue from way back. Remember the Woro issue, the Woro and what's it called?
I mean, it's
massacre,
just,
the Woro massacre in Nuku. Yeah, where the imam was killed, the children, they besieged the village in motorbikes, burnt houses, did all of that. One would ordinarily think that there's enough time for the government to have handled. But Benga, you weren't here yesterday. We had a former general who joined us, and he spoke deeply about the situation of things. And I still cannot get out of that interview from yesterday because every single thing he said seemed to play back in my mind like, okay, so that means there's a way to end this. But then again, they always tag it as a political will. And
so the problems are multi-layered, and it will take a holistic approach to bring this to an end.
I mean, just to mention that beyond the fact that the Nigerian citizens who have a right to remain in their communities, to live as normal human beings in their communities, have been turned into refugees, fleeing their communities and living in internally displaced persons camp, or just completely fleeing and, you know, just looking for where to perch. It has stripped them of their right to dignity of human person. They're living below the quality of decent life of a regular person. That's one angle. Another perspective we haven't talked about is the fact that there's a waterfall in that community.
A beautiful, beautiful.
A waterfall that could have served as a tourist, an internationally recognized waterfall that could have served as an opportunity for the community to make money, with people like us saying, you know what, or people from outside the country, oh, I'm going on a break. The same way they're advertising Ekiti now, if you've been noticing, I've been saying visit Ekiti, visit Ekiti. The same way they could have done visit Kwara, visit the Owu waterfalls, the way we go to Ikogosi Warm Springs, and we go to these various tourist attractions. We've been stripped of a source of income. Bandits have now owned that terrorist, it's now terrorist attraction at this point, because it's no longer a tourist attraction. And that's really, really sad.
Anyway,
Right.
let's get to see what Nigerians are saying very quickly. You want to go on YouTube first, or you know what? Let's go on a break. We have a break. When we come back, we'll take a look and see what you are saying on social media and also on X. Stay with us. Welcome back. On Wake Up Conversations, we're looking at the sad situation happening in Kwara State. The videos are indeed online. We'll get to show them to you once again, where police officers were dispatched, or better still, they were actually going to Kwara State community to look into the insecurity there. And to their surprise, they met a ghost town. And just like the audio that accompanied the video, the policeman said this is the first time in his life where he's going to see, or he would witness, a town with no one living in it, all because of kidnappers. Now, you also recall that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu said 6 days ago that you surrender or face full force of the state. That's what he said in that presidential speech during the Democracy Day. So 6 days after, we're waiting to see what the impact of those who haven't surrendered would be met with. But let's see what Nigerians are saying on X very quickly before we go to YouTube and get reactions. On X, we have the curious case of Benjamin Button.
Very nice movies.
Yeah. I mean, aging backwards or something. Do you know what it means for a whole community to be void of humans in the daytime?
Yes.
How much more of night? Daytime.
Think about it.
All right. Her boy says it will surprise you that those that run away from this community will go and find shelter elsewhere and still be campaigning or standing on the mandates that aided their abandonment of their ancestral lands. Well, we don't know about that. Bank says, when we are ready, we will do the needful. I don't know what you mean by the needful. I don't know what you mean, but I mean,
I guess the needful is to end insecurity.
Blessing O. Fashade says, the height of insecurity and cost of the good people of Nigeria. The Tinubu administration can do better to protect our people and their communities. We can do better as a nation. God save Nigeria, so says Blessing. And then Friendly Neighborhood Doctor says, you know what's wild? Owa Onire is the location of Owu Falls, the tallest waterfall in West Africa. When things were better, I have hiked this waterfall 3 times. Look at the town. Look at what's happening.
Okay, let's take comments on YouTube as well. Okay, I think this will be the last one.
Yeah. Blue Sangye says, this is inevitable when you think that it can never be you, out of some sense of exceptionalism.
All right. On YouTube,
Okay, we have another one. Just chill. Okay, this is the last one. He says, the price of a desolate town, bought with rice, noodles, and ururu.
Add semo to the mix.
Your choice of leaders have consequences. 2027 is another opportunity to choose right.
All right, now finally I can head to YouTube. On YouTube, Michael Zeus says, maybe the police are not happy because there are no motorists and cyclists to extort. If they really care for these people, why not establish a permanent station there to protect Orire up Jagaban? Mr. Johnson also says, Olive, only Nigerians that don't like their lives will lie that this insecurity is a joke. I'm from Kwara State, and I'm getting a first-hand information from my childhood friends. My own mom, as I advised her, she's a retired principal. She couldn't even stay in my dad's house because it's scary. Michael Zeus also says, please, Olive and Co, update us on the school kidnappings in Sabongedaura in Edo State yesterday. It's like Okpewolo is living up to his promise of bringing insecurity to Edo State. Femi Olagudru says, this is not a good story at all. All the residents have left to the neighboring town. 2027 elections can't hold. The state should do something fast as possible to bring peace back to this poor town. And Mokunye Chukwemeka says, Olive, many places have been deserted like Owa Onire, but it doesn't matter to these politicians. Joseph Mwagba says, it would seem that even the gods of their land couldn't protect them. Michael Obieku says, I can assure you that Tinubu has forgotten the statement he made a few days ago concerning bandits and terrorists, as long as it has nothing to do with his re-election. Nanjisen says, why are the police demarketing Nigeria? Nigeria is safe, relax. Tinubu is working. And Nathan Emmanuel said, The needful is getting better leaders, and the fastest way to get better leaders is to head to the polls. And you cannot head to the polls if you do not have your PVC. The PVC CVR exercise ends on the 10th of July. Please put yourself through this stress. Go and queue if you have to. Stand under the sun. Do whatever you have to do. Because the more people go out to vote, the better the chances of you electing leaders that you'll be happy, or at least you have a mouth to criticize if they're not working, because you put them in there and you were part of the people.
And INEC too should work on their digital infrastructure to avoid downtimes.
It's such a shame that in 2026 people will still go and be queuing. You will be planning your life and say, oh, I need to leave my house at 5 a.m. so I can get to the local government and go and queue. When people literally around the world are voting from the comfort of their homes,
or they're delivering it to them in their house. I mean, why can't Nigerians pay the charge for delivery? If that was an option, I'm sure.
And if it's that one, they will hijack it too. Delivery man can stop somewhere.
If delivery man can open food and take meat.
One pizza, please.
One pizza, one slice. You think you will open that tear? Anyway, but then again, these are sad situations, and we're hoping that maybe the governor of the state will eventually have a sit down with security agents with all the things we've heard. And then you hear that the police officers are not enough. The president said he's going to draft 50,000 more police officers. Just when he said that, Benga, you remember, a former Lagos State Commissioner of Police joins us on this program and then tells us that 50,000 the president is talking about, prior to this statement, they had drafted 5,000 police officers for a special program. They were not paid. This is 5 years after the police officers have not received payment. And then you become afraid.
Now, when you say it takes, I mean, it will take at least 6 months for the 50,000 to be trained and before they can be put into the system. So what happens between now and the 6 months? Are you supposed to live with the insecurity? It's just the same thing with the political class, the politicians that have been saying, insecurity spikes up during election seasons. Oh, you know this and you didn't prepare for this. Or what are we supposed to do? Fold our arms and say, okay, let's wait till after elections. You're in charge. I mean, the number one responsibility of any government is the security and welfare of its people. And if you can't do the needful, the basic, I think you failed woefully at your responsibility, and the people would decide.
It's a tough one, definitely, for Nigerians now. So for the people in Kwara, our hearts are with you. And we do hope that you would find succor, and definitely the government will be able to rise to the occasion and provide you with better security, not just in Kwara State, but across Nigeria. Hence why you have calls coming from different quarters asking the president, if you can't do the job, just like you had told the former president, President Goodluck Jonathan, you might also want to reconsider. But we'll wait for more confirmation on Nigeria's security architecture as the days go by. That's all we bring to you on Wake Up Conversations this morning. We'll bring to you our top stories on a Friday morning here on Breakfast Central. Our top stories on Breakfast Central. INEC begins distribution of sensitive materials ahead of Saturday's election in Ekiti State. Only 55,000 doctors are left for 220 million Nigerians. Did you know? Anyway, Mokwa flood aftermath is also a story we'll be looking into here on Breakfast Central. We'll talk about the controversy and the likes. Flood plan approved. NEC approves 83.2 billion naira for mitigation. And then the front pages of the newspapers definitely will be up next at 9. Stay with us.
You're welcome back to Breakfast Central. 1 year after the devastating Mokwa flood disaster that claimed lives, displaced families and destroyed homes and livelihoods in Niger State, questions are once again being raised about recovery efforts and the management of funds announced for victims, while government authorities maintain that interventions and reconstruction efforts are ongoing. Some residents and activists argue that many affected families are yet to experience the level of recovery that was promised.
Now, the issue has regained public attention following renewed calls by youth activists Abubakar Issa Mokwa for greater transparency and accountability over funds reportedly committed to relief and rehabilitation efforts. But beyond the debate over figures, the conversation speaks to broader concerns about disaster management, public accountability, and how governments can demonstrate that emergency interventions are translated into meaningful outcomes for affected communities.
Well, let's have joining us this morning on the show youth activist Abubakar Isa Mokwa, who's here with us. Good morning, Mr. Isa, and thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you all for having me.
Okay. Can you bring us up to speed on what the latest is concerning the federal government's 2 billion naira funds, the controversy? By now, we're expecting that families would have been settled, the destruction would have been managed properly by, road constructions, reconstructions, homes being rebuilt for people to move back in. What's the situation? Can you tell us?
All right, good morning once again. Thank you very much for giving me this golden opportunity to share light pertaining the horrible incident that happened in Mokwa. This issue is far beyond politics. It is issue that concerns flood, disaster, and of course, emergency response. And you would all recall that on the 29th of May, 2025, there was an horrible incident that occurred in Mokwa local government that claims thousands of lives and displaced a whole lot of people. And a month after, that is on the 4th of June, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, in person of Kashim Shettima, he visited the scene and he made a whole lot of promises. He said that there is going to be, the president have, announced the disbursement of 2 billion naira and the construction should commence immediately. But sadly, I think some week back, we did a 1-year remembrance. I was the one who led the protest, reminding the whole world that just like yesterday, the pains that our people are going, that they went through yesterday, the pain is still fresh in them because until this minute as we speak, nothing has been done. And from the Vice President's speech, quote unquote, that the reconstruction is going to start immediately, that the money is already there, the President have already approved the money. But to our greatest surprise, it is over a year now, and we have not seen anything. Though the result of the protest we did when we did the Remembrance Day, I think it's actually yielded to a result because just 4 days ago, we saw the NEMA and the local government's chairman and the governor, they came to do a flag-off ceremony that the reconstruction is going to start immediately. Even though it is quite unfortunate because that was an emergency situation that needed an emergency attention. But as we speak, they just did the lay down the foundation just, I think, 4 days ago. And most of us that are concerned, or perhaps that knows the nature of politics in Nigeria, we're really worried that we're scared that this project may not come to the light because we are all aware that this is political era. And of course, I can assure you as someone who stays in Mokwa, there is no way politicians will bring their campaigns to Mokwa without attending to the needs of these flood victims. So some of us that are very sensitive in asking questions, are they not doing that as a camouflage just to ease the tension in the community? Because it is glaring. After 1 year, nothing has been done, and we've been yearning, chanting about, demanding for justice, accountability for Mokwa flood, all this, all along. And just 4 days ago, they came for the flag off, and funny enough, we were not briefed in details who is the contractor, what are the durations, and some other sensitive questions that needs, in fact, room was not even given for such kind of questions. So we are bothered, and we are not clapping yet until at least we see 50-60% of the work, or perhaps we see 100% of the work being done, and we see that the key is given to the original victims. Because some days back, there was a list that came out, a list that was compiled by the Niger State NSEMA, in conjunction with the local community that they set to take records of these people that the floods affect. And unfortunately, we found out some names that were not supposed to be in that list. And of course, it raises a very serious concern. We have been raising a very serious alarm that there are many names that are not supposed to be there and are found in that list. So we hope that they will not use that list, that is after the completion of this project. We hope that they will not also equally use that list to distribute houses to them. That is if they later complete the building for us. But currently, as we speak, there is nothing going on there for now. They did the flag up, and we are hoping that we will see the contractors on site to begin the work. But as we speak, nothing is going on there. And of course, the flood victims are still stranded. They have been stranded.
I mean, this is quite shocking, to say the least, that after a year of this flooding disaster at this level, and with promises coming from the highest level of government, you know, giving hope to the people that, look, we understand your plight, something will be done immediately. You even quoted the vice president, and to see that 1 year after, absolutely nothing has been done to the victims, it's shocking and very sad. Calls for accountability have intensified in recent weeks. What concerns have fueled demands for greater transparency over the intervention funds? Why are we speaking again about it now?
Thank you very much. You would all recall, aside of that 2 billion naira that he said the president have given for the reconstruction, the Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, and the Minister of Information, which is our own brother, our own father that we have at the federal level, in person of Honorable Idris Malagi, the Minister of Information to the President. In a viral video, we saw, because that flood that came, it's wiped away about 4 bridges in Mokwa, including the one that connects the Lagos-Ilori to the northern part of the country. The bridge was wiped away, was flushed away by that flooding. So immediately, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, graciously approved the sum of 16.7 billion naira in a viral video by Dave Umahi, the Minister of Works, and of course our own brother, the Minister of Information. And we expected the work would, commence immediately, but then, unfortunately, what we saw there, because it's supposed to be a 10-span bridge, according to what the Minister of Works said. But unfortunately, what we are seeing there is not even up to half a kilometer, and it's not. You cannot call that one bridge. If you are passing from Mokwa to Ilori or to Lagos, you see the culvert. That one is a culvert. It is not a bridge. So we are concerned. And from our own findings, because we also have engineers around, from our findings and other things, we discovered that what they spent allegedly in that place is not even up to 300 million naira, as against the 16.7 billion naira that was awarded for that contract. And it is only that culvert that they did, because that is not a bridge, obviously. It is only that culvert that they did. The remaining 3 bridges, the one that the railway on, and the other one in Rabat, and the one that connects our College of Agriculture, Mokwa, all those ones have not been fixed until this minute as we speak. And even the one that they are claiming that they have fixed, that one is not even up to 300 million naira. So that is why we have been agitating that we need accountability in that aspect. And secondly, in the aspect of the state government, immediately that incident occurred, there was a state emergency account that was published to the public for those sympathizers that wish to contribute money to rescue those people. And out of, in the spirit of sympathy, a whole lot of even poor people, myself, we contributed to that emergency account. And at a point, one of the governor's media aide was updating the public. If Dangote sent, he will tell the world that Dangote sent so something, this organization sent, and he will give us the total amount that we've gotten on that day. But unfortunately, at the long run, he stopped giving updates. as at the time that the money was around 5-point-something billion, he stopped updating the public, and the account was still in public. People were still transferring money. People have evidence of money that they have transferred. And of course, we started demanding accountability. That why is he not? We were concerned, and we said, why was he not updating the public again? And since that time until this minute, we've not had any update from him again. We've not had any plans of what the state government intend to do with that money. They have not made any speech regarding that, and that is why we have been calling on the state government. This is an emergency situation, and even though the federal government promises are not forthcoming, at least we expect him from this emergency account. He should start doing something for these flood victims. It might interest you to know that the former FIRS chairman, in person of Mohammed Nami, he also raised concern that he contributed the sum of 20 million naira to the account, and his name is not captured in the list that the state government was updating the public. And so we have other NGOs and other well-to-do individuals that contributed to that state emergency account, but their names were not published. That is, it goes out to tell you that monies that were contributed in that account, nobody knows. It's only God that knows, but the one that we know is more than 5 billion naira. So I want to believe there are billions of naira in the state emergency account that the public are not aware of, and the government is not even intending to do anything about it. And that is why we've been crying out loud. They should come and tell us what are their plans with that money. And aside of that, there is also this ecological, because in the same roads where the flood occur, there is one area that has that is facing a problem of gully erosion. The governor himself came to that scene. He made a mention that he got a loan from the World Bank, about $10 million US, that the money is with him, and in the next couple of weeks, the work is going to, he even came with contractor, the white man that is going to handle the work. But until this minute, it is a year after now, and we have not seen anything. We've not seen even a sand, a truck of sand in that place. And we are worried that you said you have gotten this money from the World Bank, and until this minute, we have not seen any positive, we have not seen any result. So these are more or less the things that we are demanding accountability from the angle of the state government and from the angle of the federal government.
With all of the, you've said so much. There's a lot that has been said. Monies have been contributed into the emergency fund account by individuals, and you could say by philanthropists. It's going to about 5 billion, if I got you correctly, and that's just the one. Yes. You know. Announcements were made repeatedly, and then it stopped. The government came with contractors to show the people that they're about to work. The bridge that was commissioned wasn't even done at all. So what are the indigents doing, the indigents of the Niger State? What are they doing? Have they met with the governor again of recent? Have they spoken to the special assistant? And what steps are you planning to take?
Yes, we've written, and to some extent, we feel, and that is why the people like me have stepped out to help these flood victims, advocate for their rights. Because at a point in time, some of the people that we trusted with the positions of leadership to help them demand for what rightfully belongs to them, at some point in time, the list that I was talking about, some of them, their names were found in that list. So at this point in time, we the youths, we have assembled ourselves, and that is why we did a protest that day. And in that protest, all our demands, we wrote, we copied the DSS, we submitted to most of the agencies that we needed to submit to. And myself particularly, I joined the protest that the show already did in Abuja in June 12th. And of course, I also joined the one that VDM did. And my message was bold and clear. All we were asking for is the ICPC and the EFCC to come to Niger State and investigate some of these abnormalities, because we are also demanding some questions, and we are demanding some answers from the state government. And we've copied all this, and we are not seeing any result. So at this point in time, we are taking it up in a legal process. That is why we are inviting the ICPC and, of course, the EFCC and Public Complaints Commission. We've all written to them, and we are hoping that they are going to do the needful. But so far, I and my legal team, we've been working, relentlessly to see that these people get justice. The youth are also not keeping quiet on this, even though we are law-abiding citizens in Mokwa local government. We've not taken any law with our hands, but then there is a threat that the local government sends a town crier to go and tell the flood victims to leave that scene, that place is not safe, whereas you have not provided them with shelter. So I think the next phase of protest that we are going to do, we are going to move all of those victims to the local government secretariat, who will stay there, who will continue to stay there until the houses are being provided, because it is a political way of trying to, manipulate people so that because as we speak, the other bridge that was affected, the one that railway is passing, that one, what the contractors were supposed to do was to provide a waterway for the water to pass. But unfortunately, they blocked the place with sand, and the flimsy excuses they gave was that they wanted that thing to be strong before they can lay anything there, before they can lay any foundation. And we felt that any serious government that wants to do a bridge, even if there is an ocean there, they will definitely do it. So we feel it is a flimsy excuses. So as a result of that, few days back, we have the same water coming from the same source. And of course, it has approached the same place that it came through last year, and of course, wiped the people away. So I raised alarm, and what they did was to come and, open some places that the water, and until this minute as we speak, that place is still blocked. The water is not moving. So if we have any heavy rain now, it's still going to flush the remaining people that escaped the horrible incident last year. So we are not sleeping on it. We've been shouting, and that is why we've been craving the indulgence of all media houses to help us tell the world that this is the current situation we are in Mokwa local government. We are not relenting on the issue. The youth are now waking, and I am the one leading every struggle that have been, going on in Mokwa local government as a youth advocate.
Okay, just to confirm, what is the reality? What is the morale of these people who are affected by it, who hear the government allocating billions and hear money is being allocated to them, but are not seeing the practical reality of what that is? What is their reality like? What is their spirit like?
It is obvious. It is obvious. Even in the last protest that we did, old women that cannot even come out from their rooms, they came out by all means. Some of them, they backed some of them were not feeling fine, but they have to. Some of them were on their drip, and they came out on the streets. That is to tell you the level of frustration that are in them. And of course, they are all aware of this thing. And to some of us, because our people here, if something of that nature happened, easily they will say, Mumbarma Allah Kome, that is, they have given everything in the hands of God. But we went there to sensitize them that no, it's not everything that will subject it to God. This is their birthright, and it is written even in the Holy Book that if something rightfully belongs to you, do everything humanly possible, even if it is going to take the last drop of blood in your vein to fight for that thing. And at the cost of fighting for that thing, if you die, of course, it's written in the Holy Quran that, of course, it is called jihad. That means you are getting automatic ticket to paradise. So we took our time to sensitize some of them that do not know the gravity and intensity of the level of the promise that the federal and the state government have made, or perhaps they do not know the money that is involved, the money that is at stake. We told them these are the money that is at stake, and we're not supposed to leave it to God. So some of them had already given up, that they have given everything to God because they know government will definitely not do anything. But we took our time to go through the scene. We sensitized them. We told them that they should, keep all hopes alive, and they should join us in this struggle. And that is how they were able to wake up again, and they are ready to go to every length now to protest, to tell the world, to do all form of protest to ensure that they get the justice that they deserve.
All right, thank you so much for being a voice and lending a voice to speak up for these people. Just to confirm, you had mentioned that there was a man who was initially naming, giving updates, and that stopped. Are you able to share his name?
Yes, his name is Abdul Baki.
All right. We'll continue to follow up with this story and demand and advocate for these people to get what was promised them and ensure that their lives, the quality of their lives being improved. Thank you for being a voice, and thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you.
All right. The Malawian government is pleading with well-wishers to come forward and help with the repatriation of its citizens that have been stranded at Sherwood Park in Durban, South Africa. Now, the situation has become a humanitarian crisis with women and children desperate to leave. Meanwhile, the Malawi High Commissioner to South Africa, Stella Ndau, told News Central that the issue of foreign currency is also the main concern as they are supposed to pay bosses in rands. We'll cross over shortly to our correspondent Bongani Sisiba, who's on ground. But let's talk about, what the current reality of this is in terms of how South Africa has been in the news for the wrong reasons, Joe. This Afrophobia, as it's referred to, it's not now, it's no longer just a Nigerian thing, it's other countries within the continent.
And it's really sad. I mean, Malawi happens to be a neighbor to South Africa. They're part of the regional SADC, Southern Africa Development Corporation group. And their citizens have said, look, okay, we've gone through all these threats and we want to leave. And just a few bosses were sent by the South African government by the Malawian government, I beg your pardon, to repatriate its citizens from South Africa. And you need to see the conditions in which the Malawians who are fleeing xenophobic violence leave. You have some footage on your screen. Some pregnant women have given birth outside. They're living in hard times, all because they're waiting for their government to send buses to repatriate them. I mean, even as a host country, I believe South African government should step in and help in any way it can. I mean, these people are willing to go back to, pick up pieces of their lives to start life again in Malawi, but getting them out of the country seems to be a problem. And this is very embarrassing, not just for South Africa, the entire continent, that you cannot move people from point A to point B after going through traumatized people. I mean, what is so difficult about it?
It's sad. It's sad again. The updates that we did get was the fact that even as the Malawians gathered and kept calling on patience from the South Africans while seeking their government's intervention to ensure that there is a good evacuation process, they were still being attacked, as it were, by the South Africans who were not in any way appreciative of what's going on. And I did stumble on a video where members of the aggrieved, in quotes, Afrophobia, if you want to call it that way, gathered and told them not to move to a certain area, that they all need to be gathered in one place. They don't want to see them moving. And they told them that, listen, you pushed us here.
Yeah, and we're already leaving. We're waiting for
give
buses.
Us time. Yeah. And they said, regardless, they gave them till the 30th of this month because the countdown is on. Tiptoeing off that story, they also mentioned that Nigerians have been a very bad influence, as it were. The Nigerians are emboldening the rest of the African...
Yes, I heard one of the protest leaders say that.
Yes,
they're very arrogant people.
The rest of the African country, and making it seem like they are ready. And then there was a threat that was made that, they're ready to take on Nigeria. And I wondered, how would you stoop so low?
But let's connect with South Africa. I believe we have our correspondent, Bongani Sisiba, who's joining us live from Durban, if I'm not mistaken. Bongani, good morning to you. Could you give us a current update on the situation where you are, and what's the latest with the planned evacuation of the Malawians back to their country?
Sure, and also our viewers, the situation still remains the same here. However, there is a bit of movement. If I could ask my colleague to show you now the buses that are here to deport these Malawians back to their country. So there is little movement. Yesterday there was absolutely no movement. However, there are still thousands of Malawians who are camped here. If I could ask my colleague just at the back just to show you, this is how we left it last night. It was like this, these women still seated here waiting for repatriation. this is how it has been. This queue that you are seeing, these ones that are moving now, going to the buses, they are going to these buses so that they are taken to court, and then from court, then they will be brought back here and wait like others so that they can be deported. But it's a very, very sorrowful situation that is happening here. So with me is one of the Malawian leaders here in South Africa, just to speak to us. I say, the queues are not moving. Everything is like at standstill.
Okay, thank you so much, sister. So far, we are trying our best to make sure that the queues must start moving. Like yesterday, we had a good, smooth movement of the queues, and also we had a lot of buses, like 12 to 15. We accommodated those buses. As I'm talking now, they are on the way. Today, there was a little bit delay, but we have also expecting 30 buses that can accommodate the people to go to Malawi. So those who are going to court now are those yesterday, they were completely assisted. But because it was too late, so they have to go to court today. As you know, the court opens at 8, if not 9 o'clock. So as they came back to the court, we are expecting them to come here and board into the buses so that they can be on the way going to Malawi.
We understand that there are 12 born babies that were born here, and also there are infants that lost their lives here. It's been a dire situation, and you as a Malawian, as their leader, speaking to your people, what exactly are they saying, especially about this situation we are seeing here?
Okay, as I am saying here, we got a lot of pressure because even our officials from Malawi Embassy, they are not enough. They are like only a few of them with our ambassador around. I'm working closer with the ambassador. Therefore, we contain a lot of pressure because, as you say, we having plenty of women who got babies, and the 12 babies who are born here, some of them, they're even suffocating with the situation here. All I can ask is to ask the government of South Africa in terms of medical department, where at least they can give us some containers that can operate this place 24 hours, so that those who are sick, as I'm talking now, I was attending to almost plenty of women who are sick, children who are sick, and the situation like this is becoming tense because for now we don't have a medical facility where I can direct them where they can be assisted, meaning anything can happen, they can die here. That's why I'm insisting our government is trying all the best to make sure that our people must be evacuated. But the problem now is the slow of everything. As I say, we don't have medical facilities in the camp. They came, but they depart. While other people, they need assistance at night, where they don't know where to go as they are in a camp. So there is such a challenge which we need the government of South Africa, especially KwaZulu-Natal government, to help us with medical facilities so that those who are sick, those who are suffocating, they can get assistance. That's what we're asking also our embassy to intervene with the government of KwaZulu-Natal to make sure that our people are receiving treatment when they are sick in the camp and they can be accommodated as well.
Thank you so much, sir. I might leave you just to go. You told me you are in a hurry, Joe. This is the situation that is happening here, and I can be a testament to what is happening here. Sometimes as the media, we are here to do our job, but also it breaks your heart to see children crying for food, and their mothers trying to comfort them, and they can't comfort them any further because they need food, but there is no food. Seeing mothers are here giving birth, as a mother, it's something that breaks our hearts. But what can we do? This is our job. So the situation here at Sherwood Park, Joe, remains very, very volatile, and a humanitarian crisis like you have had is just brewing here, because yesterday I also reported that we saw a lot of women just being attended by the health practitioners here, meaning that a lot of them are getting sick, dehydration, the water that is here is not enough. Well-wishers who are also coming just to give them food, it's not enough. And also the plea by the Malawian government for anyone who can help to intervene so that they can help these people to go back to their country, because they are here because of the protests, anti-migrant protests that we have been seeing in South Africa. So they are saying they would like to go back to their homes, but from their homes where they are coming from, because I spoke to some individuals here, they were telling me about the economic challenges that they face back in Malawi. Those results of economic challenges pushed them to come to South Africa to look for greener pastures. However, because of the situation that they find themselves in now, they have to go back to Malawi. But speaking about the situation that is here, Joe, it's a very dire situation. I was also on the other side. If you could recall, I also reported that there is a camp that has been established, or rather opened, to take some of them from here to the other side. But I was there this morning. It's still empty. The authorities are still trying to fix that place, because there needs to be toilets. There need to be facilities that can also hold these people. But the numbers here are still not even decreasing. The numbers, even when we were coming, we saw some still carrying their bags coming to this place. So the situation has become a devastating one. But we continue reporting from this place, Joe.
Much and well done, Bongani. As we wrap up the conversation, has there been any updates from the president himself? I know I did stumble on a video where he was asked questions such as what's he going to do now that he's seen that Malawians, even Ghana has started its own protest in Ghana, chasing South African companies that are managing the gold facilities and not looking to renew them. So has the president spoken once again to the people regarding how the process of, chasing Malawians, Ghanaians, Nigerians, other African, nationals out of South Africa?
Joe, if you are still speaking to me, I can hardly hear you. But from what I'm picking of what you are asking me is that President Cyril Ramaphosa has come out to speak about the situation that is happening here. Yes, definitely, President Cyril Ramaphosa has come out several times speaking about the anti-migrant protests that we are seeing in South Africa and condemning them, saying that there is no one like a citizen, a general citizen who is not a law enforcement or even home affairs should be going around asking identity documents from anyone. So yes, the president has come out loud and clear that he condemns this. But not only the president, also other political parties have come out to condemn what has been going on, especially the protests. Like you have also said, we have seen many citizens, African citizens who are here in South Africa, leaving South Africa because of these sentiments that we have been seeing. We also understand that in Cape Town, Zimbabweans are also camped there in Cape Town and also in Joburg. We saw Nigerians also leaving, and we understand that the second batch of Nigerians will also be leaving soon. And also we saw the citizens of Ghana leaving. Not only them, also on the other side on Monday, I was on the other side here at the Home Affairs, also the citizens of DRC camping there, saying that they want also to leave. But however, many of them are documented and they have documents to be here in South Africa. They were telling me that they are refugees. They came here in South Africa because of the war that is in DRC. So it's not only Malawians who are moving back to their countries. We all African citizens that are here in South Africa are trying all means so that they can go back to their country. As we know that there is a deadline, that is the 30th of June, that was given by these anti-migrant groups, saying that all undocumented foreigners should leave South Africa, Joe.
Thank you so much, Bongani Siziba, for the good work you're doing, and we will definitely reconnect as you have more updates. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
All right, that's the update right there. But let's quickly move on away from South Africa, let's inform you that the National Economic Council has approved over 83 billion naira for proactive flood mitigation measures and also directed wider consultations on the proposed National Regional Development Policy aimed at addressing disparities and accelerating inclusive growth across the country. Council also considered measures to strengthen agro-exports and received updates on key national reserve accounts. News Central's State House correspondent Bettina Nweli reports.
The National Economic Council, chaired by Vice President Kashim Shettima, has approved the release of 83.2 billion naira, representing 50% of the proposed budget for the Anticipatory Action Task Force to support early interventions against flooding and other climate-related disasters.
Council also underscored the fact that NEC must act promptly and must not be seen as always reacting to situations rather than being proactive when these disasters occur. Council approved the sum of 83,211,818,881 naira 50 kobo, being 50% of the proposed budget for the AATF, with a plan to review the framework at subsequent meetings as part of broad measures aimed at tackling flood.
Balances as at 17th of June 2026. For excess crude account, we have a balance of $535,823,000.39. For stabilization account, we have 79,62,797,770 naira and 43 kobo. For natural resources account, we have 200,691,524,110 naira 89 kobo.
Council further considered the proposed National Regional Development Policy for 2026 to 2030 and directed the Minister of Regional Development to circulate the document to state governors and engage the Nigeria Governors Forum for broader consultations.
Resolutions reached include: number one, that Council directed the Minister of Regional Planning, Regional Development to share the proposed NRDP 2026 to 2030 with the state governors in order to digest and make inputs.
Council directed the chairman, Nigerian Agro-Export, to set up to meet with Minister of Digital and Blue Economy, Export Promotion Council, and fine-tune the proposal.
The decisions made are expected to strengthen the country's preparedness against flooding, deepen collaboration with states on regional development, and support ongoing efforts to diversify the economy through enhanced non-oil exports. In Abuja, for News Central, Bettina Nweli.
And now let's share with you what's coming up next on Breakfast Central. Coming up next, we'll be looking at INEC beginning the distribution of sensitive materials ahead of Saturday's election in Ekiti State. Only 55,000 doctors are left for 220 million Nigerians, according to a report sharing the impact of Japa. Ebola alert preparedness, federal government activates task force and strengthens surveillance.
Welcome back to Breakfast Central. As preparations intensify for the forthcoming governorship elections in Ekiti State, attention is increasingly turning to the electoral umpire. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, and its readiness to conduct a credible, transparent and peaceful poll. The election is expected to serve not only as a test of the Commission's logistical and technological capabilities, but also as an important indicator of Nigeria's democratic maturity ahead of future off-cycle elections and the 2027 general elections.
From voter registration and the distribution of permanent voter cards to the deployment of the bimodal voter accreditation system, result transmission and collaboration with security agencies, stakeholders are indeed closely monitoring the Commission's preparedness. This morning, we assess INEC's readiness ahead of the Ekiti governorship election, the challenges that lie ahead and what measures are needed to guarantee a process that reflects the will of the people. Don't forget, Ekiti State is a very, very important state whenever it comes to elections, especially looking at the recent issues bedeviling the state. Whether you like it or not, you would want to talk about the political parties that are also a part of it. But joining us to discuss these issues, we have Regional Advocacy Officer, West Africa Democracy Solidarity Network, Austin Aigbe, who joins us, and also will be joined by our second guest in the course of the conversation. Good morning, Mr. Aigbe, and welcome once again.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Yes, the elections are right in front of us. Barely just few hours from now, everything will go into full force. Can you tell us if, from your standpoint, is INEC ready for the Ekiti governorship election?
No, I like that kind of question because of the issues that INEC have been faced with. Maybe because of the trust deficit that is a major issue of concern with INEC. Even though INEC may have done all it can do or it could do, but people still have that kind of feeling that INEC cannot be trusted. The truth is that everything that needed to be done in terms of the Ekiti timetable, which began about a year ago, has literally been concluded. Today, the RAC Center will be open. The RAC Center is a center that is closest to the polling unit, where deployment happened immediately from that RAC Center straight to the polling unit in the morning of election, and that morning of tomorrow. But as of yesterday, materials already had left the central bank, where all of those materials were kept for safety. They are now beginning to move sensitive materials already going to those RAC centers. And I think that from what I know about timetable of INEC and what I know about INEC preparedness, the timetable have been ticked one by one. The last that needed to be ticked will be the opening of the RAC Center and election of tomorrow.
Okay, let's talk about all the inconsistencies that INEC has been accused with in the past few weeks. Very recently was people complaining about not being able to verify their PVCs, the complaints about them not being able to register, even getting to the center, the duration. Many have argued that 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. every day, and then pegging it at July 10th is too short a time. And now we have the first set of elections under, well, maybe not first set. He already had one in Anambra State, but Amukpito again will be brought back into the conversation. Recall that a few weeks ago, he also was in the news for allegations of aligning with the ruling party. Do you believe that INEC has done all within its power to sufficiently clear its name to reaffirm Nigerians that they are well prepared and completely independent throughout the election, starting from tomorrow?
Open my conversation with a trust issue. No matter what INEC does today, even if it cuts his neck for the people to see, that trust issue will be there because INEC has put himself in that trust challenge. You see, all that has happened before now, whether you call the issue of the X message that went out or the issue that they have with the ADC vis-a-vis, people were arguing why the removal of the mark from the website, whereas the same issue happened with Labour Party. And you know, all of those things added up. And to just now classify everything together was that people began to look at the pedigree of the senior advocate of Nigeria, the INEC chair. Well, to quickly just answer your question, it'd be number one, citizens are used to the rush hour, and I don't know why. Again, maybe I know why. is in our blood. Nigerians, we like that last minute where you get things done. Even people who read for exams, they read for exam close to the examination day. People who reside close to the church are the ones who arrive late. People who arrive close to the mosque are the ones who go to the mosque late. So there's that challenge of, so if you exceed the registration time to December of 2026, what will happen is that you won't see anybody at the location anymore until that November-December period. So INEC has said, and they've announced this threshold for more than 2-3 months, that the July 10th is a cutoff mark and there's no extension. Now you still have a good number of days now. You are not going to see people. And again, those who will need to transfer their location do not have to go to the polling unit, to the registration point. People don't read sufficiently about what's happening. Only new registrants to go to the area for registration. If you lost your PVC, go online and track it, and then you apply for another one. If you are relocating from maybe Lagos to Abuja, you don't have to go to that location. In this case, we are still seeing the number of people, those who registered before, are still going in. And what that means is that they are going to have the challenge of having 2 or 3 registrations, and by the time INEC run that with their IBIS application, all of those double registrations may be removed. What that means is this: on election day, people start complaining that INEC has removed their name from the register, whereas they are the ones who deliberately remove themselves from the register. What do you do for folks who are listening? And of course, great job that News Central is doing. Let's continue to amplify this information to citizens to say what you need to do. If you are still your location, you don't have to appear there. With your system or your phone, you can get that done. If they need a link, just Google the link. It's always on NFI's account or anywhere. Google the link. If they want it, we can share it with you to share among people.
Okay.
News Central can even put it on the bar line and advertise and share people. But above all, the trust concern on INEC is a big, what I call a weird situation for INEC.
Thank you very much, Mr. Onire. We need to go on a quick break. When we return, we'll talk about the NSCDC deploying 10,000 personnel, K9 units, and intelligence-driven personnel to secure elections. One will think we're going to war and not voting. We'll discuss the implications of this and more when we return from this quick commercial break. Breakfast Central, one of the off-cycle elections in Nigeria, the Ekiti State governorship elections, will take place in less than 24 hours. We have Mr. Onire this morning on Breakfast Central dissecting and looking at the preparedness of the Independent National Electoral Commission and everything that has to do with tomorrow's elections. Now, Mr. Onire, security remains a major concern during elections. Elections are civil and civic exercise. You vote, you go about your business. In many countries, even the presidential elections is not a public holiday. But in Nigeria, there's this palpable tension that hangs in the air. And we're always quick to show, I'm sure today, in the streets of Ado-Ekiti, the commissioner will probably have a show of force moving around in APCs, and it's almost like they're battle ready. The NSCDC is now saying, that's just one security outfit, that they're going to deploy 10,000 personnel and tactical units, and even K9 units, even dogs will be involved in, the security situation in Ekiti State. Why this militarization of our electoral process? And when do we begin to see it as, civic exercise, just like, your monthly environmental sanitation? Why this security umbrella?
Thank you very much. I'm happy you made a very candid example about the environmental sanitation. If environmental sanitations are not enforced in Nigeria, people just stay in their homes and take it as on holiday when maybe there's a close, the environment is shut down for people to do their sanitation appropriately. If you don't enforce it, people take it as holiday. It's a Nigerian thing. Sometimes when I explain Nigerian thing elsewhere, in Africa, it's difficult for me to truly explain it in a way that people, sometimes they don't understand it. In Mali, you don't shut down the system on election day. You go and vote. In Ghana, even though there's a bit of shutdown, but the movement is still a bit okay. And in Nigeria, it is a total shutdown. And why did those level of deployment? I'm sure you know that CSOs have constantly criticized those huge deployments. Again, if you flip the coin, you want to agree with this security guy. You may consider it as 100 pipe. You may consider it as that. But if you also flip it around, this is a standalone election. Ekiti borders other states. The risk is that other states can have access to Ekiti to misbehave or engage in some level of violence. So the security has a duty to ward off Ekiti state from all the other states. And that deployment becomes relevant in their argument. But when you go on the ground and you begin to count people in uniform, you are going to be surprised, particularly for the police, that we are not seeing this number. Again, the argument is that you don't have to see the number because there are many more in plain clothes who are doing intelligence. That intelligence are even more, so they can gather sufficient information. And if you look at that from the perspective of intelligence gathering, you want to agree with that argument. You don't have to have everybody in uniform. This is not America, where people know about the civility of election, where people go and vote. It's time you walk in, and you're going to see in America, they put a sign, 40 years. You walk in, you vote, and you get out. There is no thing like about trying to manipulate the process. In Nigeria, why do we have to shut down? Because we don't want ballot box stuffing. We don't want ballot box theft. We don't want Bieber's theft. We don't want talk mobilization, maybe from states as far as Edo or Ondo or Lagos, to move into Ekiti and then suppress the voters in Ekiti because they are not from that state. Those are the arguments for those. But let me quickly just add up, because when you use the word, I understand your perspective about by today, there'll be show of us, they'll move around with APC. Please, because we have APC political party, let's call it that it is armed personnel area. It is not the party. I know people who want to misconstrue those conversations now and being to report that the security are moving around with APC, not the party. It is the machine, the vehicle that is armored, that is the way to protect people. They do that to tell citizens that we are ready for the election, that their lives is secured, that voting will be done under a serene environment, and that's for that purpose. Well, with all due respect, I'm hoping that one day, one of the states, we can truly have the election, maybe not now, but we must begin with a viable electoral law. As of today, when you don't have a viable electoral law, that the winner takes all, there's the fight to arrive at the position is a do or die affair, then election will always be seen as war. Above all, political participation, election, or political leadership has become the highest paying jobs in Nigeria. Many years ago, we used to see Shell as the highest paying job. Those who work in Shell and Chevron those days were seen as the bigger boys. But today, the councillor, the House of Representative members, the House of Assembly members become the big boys. So when you get to power today, and tomorrow you're returning almost like your life has turned around 24 hours. That is not good for our political system.
Okay. Mr. Igwe, I mean, you've highlighted that. It makes me also wonder what the future is, especially now that politics is the highest paid job, as it were, in a country like Nigeria. But we do have social commentator who's joining us, one who's very familiar with Ekiti State, of course, because of family ties and once having a sibling who happened to be the governor of that same state. We have Mr. Isaac Fayose, who's joining us live from our Abuja studios. I'm sure you're counting down to the elections. Prior to the elections, which definitely will begin, especially in earnest from today, tonight, ahead of tomorrow, you already raised an alarm. And your alarm simply was that you said that you have found out that the APC are looking to buy votes. We've talked about the administrative part of Mr. Igwe. Now let's go straight into the political parties. How verified is this your source? And how are you certain that they're about to buy votes? Because some of the APC members have come out to say you were just blabbing, that there's no such thing.
to Delight Hotel. Delight Hotel is in Abuja. If EFCC can go there now, they will bust them there with billions. Billions. Ekiti state government are planning to buy votes, 25,000 naira per vote, because they know that they are so unpopular. Go to Ekiti now. When you put 10 people together, you ask them, who are you going to vote for? 8 people will tell you we are voting for a particular party, PDP. But because the government and APC are so desperate, they saw the handwriting, they saw that the people these people are not ready to vote for us. So they are planning to buy vote as we speak. Or by phone now, I can show you a video of Ghana Must Go going into hotels as we speak. And EFCC just opened office in Ekiti. If I can be getting intelligence and be seeing Ghana Must Go flying up and down, how come EFCC is not seeing this? How come? I don't understand. How come election that you are planning to spend almost 20 billion people's money? Abba. This is the money that are meant to do roads, healthcare, education. You are not planning it to use it to buy them for them to vote for you. This vote buying that is going on, if you don't believe me, tomorrow is not far. It's less than 24 hours. You will see it. You will see it. They are planning to buy votes. Many hotels in Ekiti now, they stock their thugs there from neighboring states. Thugs from neighboring states. Anywhere they see other party doing well, they are ready to destroy that ballot. Watch it tomorrow. It's not what I'm telling you now. Tomorrow is not far. So you will see everything I'm saying right now. You will see everything happen tomorrow. They are planning to buy votes. They are planning to spend close to 25 billion naira to buy votes tomorrow. And that's the truth. No, vote buying is their plan.
Now,
100%.
Mr. Fauci, Ekiti citizens will be going to the polls in less than 24 hours. I haven't looked at the campaigns and the issues and states that is very dear to your heart. What would you say are the biggest issues that should determine who wins the elections? What are the main concerns of Ekiti citizens' priorities?
Okay, you can see yourself, even the INEC officials, they can see that they are in a village. Ekiti is supposed to be, at least Ado Ekiti is supposed to be city, is looking like a village. There is no development. Our governor, our sitting governor has got over close to 1 trillion. Only one bridge to show for it. Nothing to show. People are hungry. People are hungry. They purposely put people in poverty so they can give them penury, they can give them token to buy their votes. Nothing is happening there. Everybody in Ekiti, they are crying as we speak. Coupled with APC at the central. You know, APC at the central. Nothing is happening. You cannot survive with 200,000 now, and you are paying them 70,000. Now, gas in Ekiti is 2,300. 2,300. How many kg gas can I buy in a month? Petrol is 1,300. How many liters can I buy in a month? Ekiti is agrarian state. How many people are really making from farms? People cannot go to farms as we speak. They just pack about how many people from Edauniyo in Ekiti. The governor has not been there to say, oh, sorry, they pack your people. People are really angry in Ekiti. They are very angry and they will speak with their tongue tomorrow. You will be shocked if they allow free, fair, credible election, no vote buying, no ballot snatching. Oh my God, my brother, they will be losing by 78%. The governor has not done nothing. He's a governor for former governors, by former governors, and for the elites, for the people sharing our money. Nothing, no development in Ekiti. No single development. Ekiti people are tired. And if you talk in Ekiti state, they have what they call Form K. They use this Form K to detain. The prison is full. Last week, the chief judge of Ekiti state said, no, we have to decongest this prison. It's too full. Anybody that say, Governor, shut up, is in jail. They are all in jail. They pack people like sardine. Prison is full in Ekiti because they are not working and you are not allowed to talk. It's like slavery. It's like slavery as we speak. People cannot talk. People cannot advise their government. People cannot tell their governor, this is what we want. They are scared. Their government is worse than Abacha. You know how you fear military? This one is worse than military. This one is Shango. I'm telling you, go there, send your people there. Go on the street, ask people. What I'm telling you is not hidden thing. What I'm telling you is obvious. Go on the street of Ekiti as we speak now. They will tell you that we are ready to speak with our tongue on Saturday.
All right.
They are ready to get rid of this government.
Okay, Mr. Fashe, we'll go on a very quick break. When we come back, we'll pick up the conversation about the Ekiti elections. Please stay with us. All right, you're welcome back to Breakfast Central. We're still looking at the state of Nigeria's elections, focusing particularly on Ekiti State. We have Mr. Isaac Fayoshe, who's joined us from our Abuja studio. Before we went on the break, you were speaking to the reality of what the elections and preparations for the elections look like in Ekiti State. And he spoke so strongly about the fact that the citizens in Ekiti State are willing to kick out the current administration from power. They're willing to vote with their thumbs. Just to mention, you made such very strong allegations. Are you making these allegations based off what, has previously happened? Or do you have concrete evidence to substantiate the fact that they are really trying to rig the elections with money?
I have a video on my phone this morning where they are carrying Ghana Must Go. Let me tell you something. People that have made peaceful change impossible, they are the one creating Boko Haram. INEC is part of the people creating Boko Haram.
That's a strong statement, too.
No, I will tell you, sir. I will tell you why. I will tell you why. When you don't allow people, excuse me, sir, when you don't allow people to change, when people are scared of INEC rigging, when people are scared of police rigging, that was what leads to multiple kidnapping you are seeing on our street now. People cannot change their life because you change your life by changing the government. When people are scared of INEC state of mind, when people are scared of INEC ad hoc office, official state of mind, when people are collecting bribe, when security operatives are looking to the left, EFCC just opened office in Ekiti. If EFCC want to catch these people, me, I'm in Abuja. From Abuja, I'm getting evidence of Ghana Must Go. Are you saying EFCC with national money, they cannot go and start busting them and start collecting this money? This is how kidnapping starts in our country. When government failed and people cannot change them. This is what made people to resort to all the crimes we are seeing. This is what made them, when Ekiti people are boxed up now, they want to change this government. They are yearning for change, but because they know Goliath like INEC is there, they know Goliath like police is there, they know the thug is there, they know they're going to buy vote. How will they change their life? If you reinforce this government in Ekiti, Ekiti is doomed for 4 years. Why do you want to destroy 3 million people's life? Why? Why do we have to do that? Why don't you allow people to change when they want change? This is what is going on right now. It's crime against humanity.
Okay.
It's crime. Okay. Because they don't have power to change.
Okay.
They want to buy votes. They want to steal their ballot. They don't even trust INEC.
Okay, let's come back to, because we talked about trust deficit already on the part of INEC, and Mr. Igbe has alluded to the fact that with the recent happenings, it's hard for citizens of the country, Nigeria, especially those in Ekiti, to trust INEC. But, Mr. Igbe, I just want you to help with this analysis. So far, so good in Ekiti State. Data shows that you have 1,059,360 registered voters. And so far, all have collected their PVC except for 2.87% of that number. And that totals to 30,431 persons. 30,431 persons have not collected their PVCs. Do you think this will have any impact on the elections tomorrow?
Huge number. Well, congratulations to the people of Ekiti. The truth of the matter is that I'm not sure up to 500,000 will turn up for tomorrow's election because it's historic. There are people who are visibly angry. I'm sure my brother Isaac Fayoshe will not be voting. That's one out of the list. I don't know if he has collected his PVC. But let me quickly use the opportunity. My condolences, my dear brother Isaac Fayoshe. Having said that, let me go back to the question. 1,028,000 plus has collected their PVC. So that's the number we are looking at. In that number, if 30%, 40% show up, congratulations to Ekiti. If they get 50% to show up, further congratulations. In fact, if they get 60%, congratulations. Anger alone is not enough. I hear my brother vehemently talk about those issues and I see the fire. The truth of the matter is that fire enough is not enough. And that's the thing I think is a problem in the Nigerian state. We have a way of the book of lamentation. We have read everything, but to not take action on election day, people just assume, oh, they rigged the elections, so therefore I'm not going. Forgetting that that one vote can change it. Forgetting that the citizens, the power of the citizens are much more than the power of the people in power. Recognizing that in each of the polling units in the local government area of Ekiti, citizens can hold INEC to account in the polling unit. If you don't transfer this result from here, you are not going anywhere. Money can buy vote, but money cannot change the vote. If the people decide to sell their vote and they don't change their mind, it will amount to the same thing. In any case, vote buying has become a system phenomenon. To even say that one party will buy vote in tomorrow's election will be a thing of fallacy. All parties are likely, very likely, almost 80% confident level, that all parties have put up some money somewhere to procure certain votes because everybody, by way of theoretical underpinning, that people usually will rig the election in the areas where they are popular.
All right. Ms. Aigbe, let's hold that thought for a bit and see what the practicality of this is. Both of you have spoken so passionately. We have our correspondent, Mercy, who's in Ekiti State. Let's hear live from her. Hello, Mercy. What is the current situation of the elections in Ekiti State? How prepared are the citizens? What are you seeing on ground? All right. I'm hoping that we can reconnect with Mercy so that she gives us a bird's eye perspective as to what is exactly happening there. Okay, but we'll come back to connect with her. We're having some slight technical connection. Ms. Aigbe, we were speaking about, I'd like you to land on your thought. You were speaking about what luck will look like due to the percentage of people that should show up or that will or may show up at the polls. Please land with your thoughts.
The thing is this. We need to study what INEC has said. We may not trust them. I agree. I mean, I've alluded to the fact that there's a trust deficit. First, INEC has said that after the polling is done at the polling unit, people will vote, the results will be counted, and each of the party results will be entered into the form EC8A. Those data from that hard copy from EC8A will be typed directly into a soft copy or a digital copy version on the beavers. Party A, 20, they will write the 20. If the number does not agree, that will not be sent. That beavers will not go, will not be sent. If there's a ballot paper, let's say they issued 1,000 ballot paper to this polling unit, 800 people show up to vote. You are expected to have 200 ballots. And right here, you are saying that 800 show up to vote, and you have 30 ballots. You must show the difference of where that ballot is. Maybe destroyed ballot, void ballot. You must tally. And if those numbers don't tally, it means that there's a challenge, and they will resolve that issue at the polling unit. No longer at the ward. That used to be the problem of our electoral system, that the word collation process is the worst form of opaque system in electoral computation, that you can win at the polling unit and lose the election at the ward level. Parties recognize that elections are getting better. So that's why they are pumping more money. That's why I will agree with my brother that the Ghana must go. They know that buying the vote at the polling unit is the first layer to winning the election before you go to the ward.
But if you lose the election right at the polling unit, to then manufacture that thing at the wall requires another level of manipulation. So that we do not have what they call cancellation of vote. You bring result from a polling unit. They tell you that the data does not add up. Then the INEC return officer declares it null and void and put it in an envelope and separate it. And that number does not eventually calculate to the final result. Meanwhile, a candidate has won election in that polling unit and is excited he has won. There are other layers that actors must know. But the first layer is the polling unit. Get beavers.
All right, Mr. Igwe, just hang on there. Just hang on with your thoughts. Mr. Fauci, we're coming to you shortly, but let's go back to Ekiti State. Our reporter is on ground. Mercy, can you quickly speak to us? What have you seen on ground in Ekiti State ahead of the elections?
It's raining cat and dog in Ekiti this morning, but as of yesterday, we were in our respective places. As of yesterday, the government was still, of course, the governance continues in Ekiti State, irrespective of the fact that we have less than 24 hours to election day. Something peculiar that happened yesterday was the fact that one of the candidates actually resigned or stepped down to support the incumbent governor, that is Governor Oyebanji. But as of this morning, we can't interview anybody because there is nobody on the streets. But after this interview, we will be heading straight to the government house and maybe the streets, markets, and of course to take the people's overview and their preparedness for the elections. That is all for me for now. You can see it's raining heavily here, so we have nobody to interview. But then elections preparedness, that would be coming from my other colleagues in their respective places.
All right.
Now, Mercy, from your interaction with citizens in Ekiti State during the campaign period and from what you've heard, what's the mood like in the state? Are people excited about tomorrow's elections? And what are some of the issues they've been talking about?
Based on the conversations we had with some people yesterday, apart from the fact that we had security operatives everywhere, almost at every kilometer we had security operatives, the people are ready and they said they are ready to cast their votes. We equally spoke with ADC's candidate, and he would be casting his vote in Ilawe Ekiti. Of course, the governor too would be moving to Ikogosi, but for the people, most of them are ready and they've got in their PVCs. But then, never say never, would like to get from most of these people. That would be later on today when the rain stops.
Thank you very much, Mercy, for joining us. We hope to be able to connect with you before the show wraps up so that we can have, we can hear directly from the people as well. Thank you, and do stay safe.
Yes, and just before we go to Mr. Fauci, I want to follow up with Mr. Austin Aigbe on the issues that Mr. Fauci raised about vote buying, which has been a bane on Nigeria's democratic experience. The revised amended Electoral Act has increased the penalty for vote buying to 5 million naira or 2 years. Is that enough deterrence? And why do politicians treat vote buying almost like an advisory? And whose responsibility is it to clamp down hard on it? Is it law enforcement, or should INEC disqualify candidates?
The ability to stop vote buying is with the citizens, not necessarily the government official or the politicians who benefit from buying votes. So for me, in Ekiti tomorrow, voters have the responsibility. I am not speaking as INEC, I'm speaking as a citizen. It is without the citizen, without the voter, elections will not even hold. The PVC is the reason for elections in Nigeria. Therefore, the holder of that PVC has a right to stop any malfeasance in any polling unit. What can you do as citizens? You see anybody buying vote, organized, not one person. It has to be a cluster, a people united, 10, 20, 40, 50. Nobody will buy vote in this polling unit. Anybody that comes with any gunner must go. To go ahead and pursue them. I've seen that happen in Ekiti, 2018. I saw that happen in the last election of Ekiti. I saw that happen in Osun. I saw that happen in other states. You can do it. The era of collecting 5,000, 10,000, or 25,000, as Mr. Payashi has just said a few minutes ago, may accommodate for you. You are already receiving 70,000 naira as minimum wage. 70,000 naira can't take you home. What then can 25,000 do? Is it half of the road? If 25,000 naira cannot take you home, why accept it for 1 day and then you complain for 4 years? It is the citizens' responsibility. I'm sorry I'm putting the onus on the citizens. You don't expect the National Assembly members who want to buy votes to put laws in place to stop them from buying votes. Look at what happened with the Electoral Act. Majority of the people who supported those sessions are not the ones who the sessions impacted on most. God, you saw them at the National Assembly, House of Reps, Senate, getting a bit angry because they never secured the return ticket, because they put there in the Electoral Act the things that was supposedly aimed to help themselves. Now it worked against them. That is where politicians need to learn lessons. That it may help you monumentarily, it may help you in a moment, but it may not help you all the way through. The Electoral Act of 2026 is a very good example of what laws should be. To create laws for the purpose of helping yourself, it can turn against you. But for vote buyers, citizens, please arrest them and hand over them to the police. Don't worry about what the police will do to them. That's not your responsibility. Arrest them. Put it on camera that this person bought vote and you have arrested citizens, arrested this person, hand them over appropriately to the police. Don't engage in jungle justice. That would be anti-law. Arrest anybody who is involved with vote buying, hand them over.
I want us to expand on this as well, because Mr. Fayose has raised that as a grave concern. You have tendered a remedy. There are those who argue about the fact that it's maybe not the citizens but the politicians who have in some sense weaponized poverty and put citizens in a very dire situation. There are others who would argue that at the end of the day, collect their money and vote who you want to vote. Mr. Fayose, what is your response to this?
See, I want to tell you something. INEC is part of our problem. You know that voting is supposed to be secret ballots, but their staff allow them to show the payer, the people that are buying votes. They call it see and buy. It's what's supposed to be secret. They will show. I don't put APCO. After dropping it, he will come and collect his money. If INEC can stand their ground and say, no, this is a secret ballot. This is a secret ballot. Don't show your, you are not allowed to come in with phones. You are not allowed to take any picture. You are not allowed to do this. It will help matters. Now, security operative, they are not helping matters. I'm happy that police are poor. They will remain poor because they are part of the people that are destroying our country. Police have been taking side in Ekiti. They made a lot of arrests in the last 3 days. Opposition figures, they are in jail now. They are in detention. In my village yesterday, as I was landing in Abuja, you see people from my village, they bust them. They said the former governor sent thugs to beat them. Many are in the hospital. The intimidation is too much. When they intimidate other party at the polling unit, and INEC is doing thumbs up, even though INEC is not participating, but their body language, if they stay neutral, and say, no, don't show your ballot, whatever, it will stop vote buying. People are saying, I will collect their money, I will vote another party. They are saying, no, once you collect our money, you must snap it or show our agent there and come and collect money. See and buy. But if INEC can stand and say, no, you cannot do this here, tell their staff, don't allow this here, it will help. I beg, what is the EFCC doing?
Okay, Mr. Fayose.
What is the EFCC doing
Mr.
now?
Fayose.
EFCC knows they are planning to buy votes.
Okay, Mr. Fayose, sorry to butt in.
As I'm watching.
Mr. Fayose, sorry to interject. I have a major question for the both of you, but let's first of all join our correspondent. News Central will be covering the Ekiti elections, and you just need to stay with us. We'll give you updates. We have Victor Mbadike, who is joining us now. Victor, good morning.
Good morning. I was going to ask, how do I look in my pajamas?
You look good. I can say you're ready. But is the state ready?
It's raining cats and dogs in Ekiti. I mean, I'm currently at Okedeyi in Ekiti, the state capital of Ekiti. And here used to be a very, very busy place. You would get a seat once the rain subsides. It's a beehive, actually. But right now, everyone seems to be running away from the rain and don't want to get themselves wet. But of course, they've been talking tough. Residents have been talking tough. You get to hear a couple of them speak now. I mean, they're all, ready for the elections tomorrow. We've seen security operatives, thronging into the state capital. Getting set for the election. Hopefully, in the next few hours, we get to speak with CP Abayomi Shogunle, who is in charge of the elections, to tell us, give us the numbers and, possible flashpoints and all of the rest. We've also, again, voter apathy has always been a challenge. In 2022, we saw just about 36.5% come out to vote. Will that number improve? We cannot tell. But what we expect in tomorrow's elections is that the people who come out exercise their franchise. We expect that INEC will, carry out their due diligence and ensure that we do not have cases of vote buying. That has always been the case over the years. We expect security operatives to do their jobs and all whatnot. There are some few persons who would like to speak to us, but the truth is they're all running away from the rains. But if you can catch us, let's get to hear from the house set the app. Daddy, Hekarosa. Emma Binisa. Ǹjẹ́ báwo kí ni expectation yín fún ọ̀la fún election ọ̀la àti pé ìmọ̀ràn wo lẹ́ni fún àwọn INEC àti security operative fún election ọ̀la.
Kó kí ni wọ́n síta ká dìbò náà ni àárẹ̀ lọ dì í kò sí wàhálà àti rẹ́dí àti dìbò wọ́n ti ní káàdì àárẹ̀ dì í.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe wà ń sẹ́ máa dìbò dẹ̀ ní káàdì yín báyìí.
Lágbára Ọlọ́run káàdì wà sápẹ́.
Advice wo lẹ́ni fún àwọn others because over time a rí pé àwọn èèyàn ń jáde fún election.
Gbogbo wa ló máa jáde lélẹ̀ a máa dìbò gbogbo wa ló máa jáde àádìbò kò sí wàhálà àádẹ́ wọlé.
But you just heard he said he's set for the elections. He will be out to vote regardless of whatever skirmishes that might arise. But he said he has his voter's card and will ensure that he's out there to cast his ballot. Daddy Ekarosa. Ìmọ̀ràn lẹ́ni fún àwọn INEC àwọn tó ń darí election yìí àti wípé security operatives kí lè expect fún election ọ̀la báyìí.
Nígbà tó election ọ̀la inú wa dùn pé a máa dìbò àwa road lọ́la a máa dìbò fún báwò látòrí ọkàn wa títí dé branch wa Kẹ́hìndé Ọmọtúyì gbogbo la máa dùn títí dé Kẹ́hìndé Ọmọtúyì gbogbo apápátá ló ní ká dìbò fún báwò lọ́la a lè ready láti dìbò.
Àwọn kan sọ pé in the last 4 years kí ni observation yìí in terms of governance ní state yìí ṣé wọ́n ti ṣe dáadáa ni àbí wọ́n ti ṣe dáadáa ni.
Ọlọ́run ló mọ̀ ọ́n ṣe lẹ́yàdó tí mo ń gbé tí mo wà yìí bá ò ṣe dáadáa ládó particularly Ekiti state ó ṣe dáadáa fún wa tàdé ń gbádùn ẹ̀ta pàdúrà àwọn onímọ́tò àdé ń gbádùn báwò àdé jáde ní wìtìwìtì láti dìbò fún ní ọ̀la.
Okay, well, you just heard him. He said he will be out there to vote tomorrow as well. But the government has not done badly, so he expects that the next administration will, do much better. But let's go to straight. Tabari gbogbo nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Ekiti state at the moment báyìí. Kí lè rò pé wọ́n need to improve on, don't need to ṣe much more better.
Ẹ káàárọ̀, orúkọ tèmi ni Yáyáó. Inú mi dùn gan fún ọ̀rọ̀ tí ẹ béèrè. Tó lọ bá lè gbà fún wọn fún second time. Inú wa dùn wípé kó rú àwọn ọ̀dọ́ ní agbára. Secondly, àwa dírẹ́bà gan kó rú àwọn ní agbára láti lè dé mọ́tò tí ó dára ní àárín ìlú torí pé àfi àsìkò yà sọ́pọ́tì bá òrùlé bíi góńgó torí pé àdéhùn gbàgbọ́ wípé lágbára Ọlọ́run dídùn ní ọ̀sán máa so níwòyí ọ̀la sí ọjọ́ Sunday àti máa jubilate ní governance office.
Finally, ìmọ̀ràn wo lẹ́ni fún àwọn INEC àti security operative fọ́la.
INEC gan ní ìṣòro Ekiti state kí wọ́n dúró kó jẹ́ kí èèyàn dìbò rẹ̀ bó ṣe fẹ́ kó jẹ́ kí èèyàn jìnnà sí panel paper kó má jẹ́ pé ẹnìkan rí ìkíní pé èkejì nìkan tí olúkálùkù dìbò fún kó má jẹ́ kó ṣẹlẹ̀ ìyẹn ní ìjà lè ṣẹlẹ̀ lágbájá dìbò fún ṣèbí bí ní ló kó dìbò fún kó má jẹ́ kó jìnnà síbẹ̀ dáadáa kó tó dìbò.
Well, Joe Hansen, you heard from them. Again, the rains, it's raining, so they can't leave where they are. But the truth is, they are optimistic about how tomorrow will turn out. Also admonishing INEC to please ensure that the process is free and fair. This is like a litmus test for what is supposed to happen in next, general elections, and I do hope INEC live up to the expectations. And of course, you had, the previous, speaker saying that the roads are not bad. but they want improvement. Whoever wins the election tomorrow is inconsequential. What they want is, better road networks, better infrastructures. The educational sector should be improved, and every other thing that affects the Ekiti people, as a matter of fact. So, for the next few hours, we will hit the streets again and get to speak to more persons as they come out of their homes and resume their businesses just as usual. Joe Hansen.
Thank you so much for that detailed report and filling the pulse of the indigents there. But let's come back to the studio where we have our guests as we look set to wrap up the conversation. Governor Yebanji, the incumbent, will be going for his second term. You also have from the PDP, Mr. Wale himself, who also will be looking forward to vie for that seat. And then not forgetting to the ADC, also has another person who's also looking to ensure that he snatches away that governorship seat. I'm talking about Mr. Bejide Dari. But my question simply is this, and I'd like your answers to be very brief because of time. Let me start with you, Mr. Fayose. In previous elections, up until before now, we've seen the transportation or the movement of election materials done by the National Union of Road Transport Workers. And recently, we've seen videos where the NURTW members have been screaming on your mandate and singing. Is there any conflicting interests that you think may equally affect election cycles like this one, where materials are being moved by the same body, which is supposed to be independent, but of course has pitched its tent with the ruling party? Mr. Isaac Fayose.
Okay, the guy you just interviewed now, he said he's a transport worker. Am I wrong or right?
You are right.
Do you know that our Senate leader, Opeyemi Bamidele, just gave them 2 buses 3 days ago? They have been sharing Indomie, rice, beans in Ado for the past 1 week, up till yesterday. May God bless Mercy on the streets, and may God give Mercy the power to speak what she is saying. And this guy, they've been sharing Indomie. All these road transport workers, they get them money. State government, they are working for state government. So if they are the one carrying this thing, they need to be properly monitored. They need to be properly monitored because they just gave them boss. They sing on the mandate. MC Oluomo is their chairman in Abuja. If that man says he's voting someone else, they will go and seize his car. That is why he is confessing there. My brother, let INEC be neutral tomorrow. Let police be neutral. Let EFCC do their job. I can tell you, the sitting governor will not get 28% of total vote cast. I am 100% sure. Look, 1 trillion. 87% of Ekiti youth are living under multi-dimensional poverty system. As they are, they only eat once in a day. These people that you are seeing, those are the one doing good in the state. That man you just interviewed. Others are worse. And even that one you just interviewed, you can see the malnutrition in his face. They are scared of the government. They are scared of what will happen to them. They don't have a choice. They just have to do their bidding. But tomorrow is not far. We just have a few hours away. And we see what I've been talking about. You see it. You see it tomorrow.
Okay.
It's going to be in the open.
All right. Let me hear, Mr. Igbe, what's your take on the final question I asked?
First is that politics is about interest. It can be stomach interest. We are told Ekiti has designed a theoretical underpinning about stomach infrastructure. That is itself an interest. So there are those, because we have all agreed that there's a weaponization of poverty, and the government has weaponized it to the point that citizens then submit to accept even as low as sugar cane in the FCT election to vote a certain candidate. It's as bad as that. But what has INEC done? I recall when this issue came about vote buying many years ago, 2015, we had a meeting with INEC, and part of the resolution was, can you find a way to reorder the polling unit, which INEC did. I'm putting this on record. that you vote, it's supposed to be in a layer. Voters are supposed to be a bit far away from that layout where the people, particularly the agent, who have responsibility to be around that area, you cannot put them away. So one of the things that was done was to say when you vote, there's a way INEC will fold up the ballot, fold it, so that it does not also get to avoiding the ballot. When you turn print, you fold it internally inside the cubicle before you go out. But here you have the challenge. I blame INEC, but at some point, I need to also get myself away to pretend to as if I'm not INEC. Now you get people, you give someone a ballot paper to go and vote inside, and eventually the act is secret, open ballot. You need to vote secretly, and you have to come out openly to put it in the ballot. So what do parties do? When they know where the ink, where you turn printed, you don't need to even show it. APC is up, PDP is down. That was then. So when they see your hand going down, it means you are going to put it in PDP or any party below. When they see your hand up, it means it's APC or any party above. That was the measure. So now that there are now a lot of AAAA now, it may be difficult to now know where it's going to. APC, ADC, a bit closer. That may be a challenge. But to not come out to say, INEC, you must insist. That's why I said citizens should insist. The citizens can say, if you show your ballot here, you're not living here. Let the citizen become the thug. In quote, I'm not saying the citizen are thug, but let them begin the one that we enforce the law. If you show your ballot in this polling unit, XYZ will happen. But don't also forget, there are gatekeepers in each of the polling units.
All right.
Who come to the polling with a lot of money, and they are the big men in that area.
Okay.
Citizens can look at them in the face and tell them, not this time. Okay. And they vote their conscience, count the ballot with the INEC official, record the ballot on the beavers, send it in their presence, and they go online to check it. If there are differences, they blow the whistle. This polling unit has been rigged.
Thank you, Mr. Igwe. The test begins now, so we'll get to see if Professor Josh Abokwito's led INEC will actually be placed on a measuring scale again. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Thank you, Mr. Fayose, for joining us, and thank you, Mr. Igwe, for speaking with us.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Welcome back. Time for the front pages of the newspapers. We do have international journalists and, of course, one with definitely the respect and the honor for putting so much work into the journalism work or industry. We have Mr. Habib Aruna, who joins us live this morning. Welcome and thank you so much for being here.
Morning, guys.
Yeah.
Morning.
Yes. Let's just go straight to...
You better do the job.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. That's our first paper. And let's start off with the stories at the front page there. Ekiti poll, CSOs demand transparent, credible poll. Police map out security deployment in flashpoint areas to crack down on vote buyers. Vote buyers, our last conversation, if you remember. INEC moves sensitive materials to 16 LGAs. NURTW, Rotarian promised timely movement of election materials. State declares today work free. That's why the streets are dry. Let me just go straight to this story with Habib Aruna. I had asked a question about the NURTW, which is the National Union of Road Transport Workers. Now, in case you don't know what they do, of course, they are the body that oversees everything that's got to do with the union that supports road transport. I mean, your bus drivers, name them. However, they also have a responsibility. They are always used to move election materials because they are national. They are everywhere in Nigeria. But recently, we've seen videos where they are, and also, okay, Fumbaba, they are singing on your mandate or this and that. And they're still the ones who will move election materials. How does that work, especially with the Ekiti polls and other elections? You might want to touch on that, but let's get your overview of the Ekiti polls. The elections. An overview. What do you think? What are we expecting?
I watched your program when I was sitting at your reception, at the lobby. And I was quite impressed with the two guys who brought to a program, you know. Even though I sharply disagree with the position of Fayose, you know. Because he has an interest in the kit. Ostensibly because the other brother is supporting the governor. So he's sharply disagreeing with what is going on there. But I think the INEC, the police, and other stakeholders, they have no choice to conduct a transparent, credible, fair elections in Ekiti State. A small rural state, that is not too big. They have more than 2 years to do it, and they will not disappoint Nigeria tomorrow. We've been hearing from news reports that since Monday, electoral materials have been shipped, taken to Ekiti State. That yesterday, they've shared with various local governments. Yes, that is good. I am thinking and hoping that there won't be that unholy trinity between the ruling party, the INEC officials, and security agencies. I hope there won't be. Let the people decide who they want. I don't think there's any stiff contest in that state. In my view, like what we witnessed in Osun, where we have a very stiff and keenly contest in Osun State. But in Ekiti State, I don't think so. I was in Ekiti 2 months ago. I saw the way the governor is doing. The man seems to be a likable guy. People like him. And the PDP, the opposition party, the PDP, is not seem to have been able to put in house in order. But what is important is that the electorate should be allowed to freely cast their vote. Voting materials should arrive on time. Security officials should be on ground to make sure that there's no any favoritism whatsoever. And the governor of the state, the ruling party, should not overburden both INEC and the police. There should be a free atmosphere, environment tomorrow for people to decide who to be the next governor of that state.
Okay. Away from Ekiti State Post for now, let's still on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. Let's look at this story. Governors renew support for state police, demand constitutional safeguards. The rider says back power reforms and National Solar Initiative to review proposed constitution amendments, legal framework for state police. Mr. Abibarono, you once worked for a state government, Lagos state government to be specific, and you are very familiar with the workings of the government and even the security sector. This state policing bill and the renewed call for it is coming on the backdrop of high incidents of insecurity across the country. And, in order for the government not to look like it's not doing anything, and it didn't just start now, it's always been in the pipeline, is the proposed state police. Do you think this will be the silver bullet to solve all insecurity problems in Nigeria? And are we going about it the right way? What would be your ideal model for state policing? Because even under the current structure, you have the Rapid Response Squad in Lagos, which is a division of the Nigerian police, almost the state level, and the government has invested a lot in it. So back to you.
First of all, Nigeria is a federal state. So the framers of that bill took into consideration how federal states like in Germany, India, US, Canada, we've gone about their own state police. One. Since we have a federal state, federalism means legalism. Federalism means legalism, which presupposes that you must have a written constitution. A written constitution outlining the various functions of the levels of government and arms of government. This federal setup means that you must have a legal framework. So if there is disagreement between the arms or organs of government, the constitution will identify who is wrong and who is right.
As the foundational basis.
Absolutely. So what we are saying, you see, state police is not an end in itself. It's a means to an end. Means to an end to address the various challenges we are having in terms of security. The only fear people are having is that the governors will misuse it. But if there is a continual safeguard and a framework that if you don't like what they are doing, if they are abusing it, you go to court. So I have a feeling that when people go to court, the Supreme Court will make a ruling, a judgment that will guide the subsequent usage of that arms enforcement agency. Yes. So I think we should not overstretch that point that it will be misused. The governors know what is going on. They too know that there must be a framework outlining the various functions of both the citizens and the government, you know, so that that thing will not be abused. So I think with this framework and constitutional safeguard, it will be some as ombudsman or watchdog to prevent the abuse of the state police if eventually comes to light.
There are other big stories I'd like us to take, especially if we look at The Guardian. But let's go to Al Jazeera first. Al Jazeera will be the next paper we're looking at. Wow. Okay. Police arrest suspected Lakurawa Mamudawa terrorist in Kebbi. That's at the top. Still at the top, Ekiti Guba, Mark Ariboshola lead ADC campaign grand finale. I don't know if our producers have that video, but we saw them campaigning. The grand finale campaign was done, and videos emerged yesterday of how they were preparing. Especially, they do have their own candidate, Dari, who also will be running. Federal government unveils guidelines for transition to new tax system. I did get that yesterday. It's quite painful that those who are about to clear their taxes from 2025 will still belong to the old tax system. It's the brunt is too much. Anyway, building collapse. Lagos insists on periodic structural integrity tests. Who will do it? That's the question. But let's go to
and who will pay for it?
Who will pay for it? FCT development shouldn't be at expense of masses. Tinubu says original inhabitants willingly sacrifice for the collective good of the entire nation. Goes ahead to say his administration will build communities, elevate the standard of living. Okay. Anyway, so far so good. The only story we see here.
That story on police arrest suspected Lakurawa.
Yes.
You see, I'm not in favor of rehabilitating terrorists. Once you are caught or a terrorist, I think you should face the law squarely. You should face justice, or you have been involved in killing people. You know, I don't see any way how. I don't see how you can be rehabilitated to come back as a normal person to the society. You know, once you are arrested when you are trying to if you have even killed people.
That's it.
In the process of killing people, you are not arrested. You are not telling us that you have changed. So the government will now rehabilitate you. And we saw the other day in Borno State. I don't think it's right. Once you are caught, if you are not killed, if you are not going to be alive, you should prosecute it.
Exactly.
In line with the law of the land. So this kind of man that has been arrested, it should be moved immediately to face the wrath of the law.
There are actions and consequences.
Yeah, we don't rehabilitate these bad people. We don't. Society, in the United Society, that would be crime. You know, the meaning of government is to make sure that these people that are committing crimes are brought to book and prosecuted. That's the meaning of government. So there should not be any arrangement whatsoever to rehabilitate them back to society. That is, to me, counterproductive. Cannot work.
I mean, I share the same sentiments with you. Just before we move to our next paper, let's take this final story from the front page of Al Jazeera. Forum warns against alleged plot to substitute APC primary election winners. And I think we can, based on confidence and from information that we have, is that this headline does not apply to APC only. The alleged plot against those who lost out in the primaries. You know, a lot of petitions. The one on the bottom right corner. Okay. Forum warns against alleged plot to substitute APC primary election leaders. Yeah. So in the wake of the election primaries by the ruling party and also many opposition parties, so many people are not happy. Even the opposition parties, NWCs, have not announced some winners. You might have won on the ground, though, but at the end of the day, and aggrieved candidates, aspirants have also protested. They've taken it to the national level. Many people are not happy. So at the end of the day, they will have to come up with a list and say, look, this is the genuine list, and these are the people. And in between petitions and listening to people, a lot of on-the-ground scheming. Paddy. Exactly, paddy. So we're likely to see abracadabra and another round of protests. So how do we avoid this sort of thing?
Our democracy is a peculiar one. Our democracy is perhaps the only one that you see people will decide something like the primaries. The president of the primary will say, it's not final decision yet, that they have to take it to their quarters to finally decide what will happen.
Can you imagine?
No, I don't understand.
It's not yet Uhuru. You might win at the polls for your primaries.
Election is not a dating. It's a process. It's a process. Look at the one that was conducted in is it Ogun State. After the emergence of Yash, Shuaibu, one of the deputy governor of Edo State, was telling the whole world that this is just our own job. We're taking it to Abuja. What are you talking about? If they decided on what to do, they've elected their person that they're giving the ticket to, the flag to. It cannot be provisional.
Okay.
It should be final.
Okay.
So I think Nigerians should insist they should put their searchlight on those things. The way and manner our parties conduct primaries is not democratic. It's autocratic.
You win at the primary.
Yeah, that is not. Don't make us say abacadabra. If you win the election, the primaries should be final.
Let's join our correspondent.
Should be final.
Our correspondent number 3. We're ready for you this week.
Israel Eferebo from INEC headquarters.
That's right.
In Ado-Ekiti. Good morning to you, Israel, from rainy Ado-Ekiti. Please, can you give us an update on the situation there? Okay, stop raining.
Okay, we're trying to see. Oh, okay. We'll try and reconnect with you, Israel. Hopefully, we can sort out the audio from that, report you're about to give us, especially from the INEC office. I can see some movements behind. But let's move to our final paper, The Guardian. I like it because it has a story that I think Mr. Abib Aruna would love to talk on. And that story is at the top there. 2027, NDC exempts Obi Kwankwaso from anti-defection oath. Some people are equal, some people are more equal than the others.
The founder and leader of that party, the loquacious former governor of Bayelsa State, he's been trying to take over, control the party. The party is his baby.
He's learned lessons from the Labour Party.
And without Obi Kwankwaso, I'm not sure anyone will know about the existence of NDC. So Obi Kwankwaso gave the party the popularity and the veritable auspices for people to contest under it. So I think yesterday, Obi was with him in the morning. Even though they did not reveal what it is called. But it's very clear that without Obi Kwankwaso, you cannot play the Hamlet without the prince. Obi Kwankwaso, they are the main. Yeah, so the man is being quite careful. Being careful not to overstretch his importance.
As a veteran journalist.
By making them to sweat to a note.
As a veteran journalist and one that has covered Nigeria.
Not veteran. Senior journalist.
Senior, you don't like that one.
Don't like that one.
In the United States, if you're in the army, even if it's for 3 months or a year, you're got it as a veteran.
I don't believe in veteran. I've been veteran.
As a senior journalist.
As
Absolutely.
a veteran. When you come to our house of breakfast assembly, whatever we say, I will ring the bell. It stays.
As someone who has covered this Nigerian political scene extensively, have you ever heard of oaths, political oaths to not defect, tying you by force, almost like an Hollywood relationship where they take blood oaths? Because this thing is giving courtesy.
It's more for them to cut one person.
Who told you we're not saying
no. I think giving courtesy.
Why do you want to keep people
in quote?
By force.
It's not a matter that they take in the.
Will it work?
In that world, in the other world.
Anti-defection.
No. His man is just trying to be careful. Implicitly telling them that.
He's guiding his baby.
Yes, you need to be careful. Let's nurture, let's grow this party.
Let's manage
let's manage this party. If Obi and Kwankwaso leave the party is dead. I'm saying so openly. They're the one that gave oxygen to that party. They're the one that animated the structure of ADC, their emergence under that NDC, and the NDC under that platform. So I think the issue of oath should not be overblown.
Okay, how about the issue of streamlining campaigns and also money, because money is a cause problem among people. They said all the money from different groups should come to one person, all of that. Do they have
No,
a right
the man is trying to take ownership of his party. Some people will not mess it up. And I don't blame him.
Okay,
he's the mastermind that he funded it. And he was able to cross all the legal crucibles and landmines. Eventually, it came to being. And as I said, he invited Kwakwaso and Obi to the platform.
Okay.
People that were not well treated by ADC. So they joined him. They're trying to manage this party well, but it is our own responsibility to put into task that this is a political party. A political party should be, as defined by Apadolai, coming together of people of the same objectives with the aim of forming a government. So it should operate under the constitution of Nigeria, not the own constitution.
Okay, let's go over to Israel, not Israel in the Middle East, but Israel Eferobo in Ekiti State, Ado Ekiti, not the country, but the person. News Central correspondent Israel, good morning to you from the Independent National Electoral Commission headquarters in Ado Ekiti. Please, can you give us an update on the situation where you are? It's looking like a beehive of activities as Ekitians prepare for the elections in less than 24 hours. Yeah. I mean, if they are Anambranians, then there should be Ekitians.
Anambarians. Ekiti sounds more like Ekitites.
Ekitites, okay. Yeah. Thank you. Professor of English and Linguistics. Over to you, Israel. Ignore the people in the studio distracting you from doing your job.
Well, you can also add the player from the English Premier League whose name is Hugo Ekitike, so you might add that one as well. But away from all of that, Benga, Olive and Joe, good morning to you. This is not the INEC headquarters here in the state capital. This is one of the INEC offices here in the state. This is Ado local government area of Ekiti in Ekiti State, and this is the INEC office located here. What we have happening here so far this morning is the fact that names of all the ad hoc staff that will be working for INEC are already being pasted here at the INEC office here in Ado local government area. And the people you see there looking at those lists pasted on the wall, those are the INEC officers who are checking to confirm that they are indeed will be working for INEC come Saturday for the elections. Now, earlier I spoke to the head of this particular INEC office, and he did say that yes, they have received sensitive materials that will be deployed to the wards and polling units around the Ado local government area. You can see that there's a lot of activity behind me right here. A while back, a team of policemen, came into this place as well, and we were told that those in there are waiting for stakeholders, and I'm talking about party officials, civil society organizations, and just the stakeholders who will be to witness the opening of the sensitive materials in here. I spoke to the man in charge here, and he did say that they are waiting for all of them to be complete, to be on the ground, to see that these materials, these sensitive materials, have not been tampered with. They haven't been opened. They want all of them to see just how the process will go here from the office here in our local government area before deployment to other parts of this particular local government. So this is what we have been able to gather so far here in our local government area as they prepare for the elections on Saturday. And just yesterday, we were able to speak with the resident electoral commissioner, Dr. Bumi, and he did say that everything is set, they are ready, and indeed, he said that Ekiti people should come out tomorrow to vote for their preferred candidates in the governorship election come on Saturday. So yes, from here, just much farther down is the headquarters of the Independent National Electoral Commission, where the REC is also waiting for News Central's arrival. We'll try and see if we can speak with him as well and get his thoughts as the D-Day inches even much closer. Benga?
Fantastic updates there. I wish we had more time on Breakfast Central, but is it possible that you can pull one person who's actually searching for their names behind you there and ask. I would have loved to know one thing on national TV, how much they will be paid for this election. I think that's a very critical aspect to look into. But is it possible? If it's not, we know you're going to join Jasiri and the likes, so we're certain that you will be interacting with them. Oh, okay, all right. Let's see the possibility.
But they said, nah. But let's try that again. Hello, sir. Good morning to you. I can see you are checking for your names here, right? So, have you found your name yet?
No.
You can face the camera over there. Yeah. So, have you found your name there?
No.
So, what name exactly are you checking for?
Suleiman Abibat.
So, are you going to be part of the ad hoc staff for INEC?
Not my wife.
You and your wife?
Not my wife.
Okay, for you and for your wife. Okay, thank you very much. Let's see if we can speak to others here. Good morning. Good morning. I know you're all busy checking for your names. All right, you're live on television. Just tell us. So, what will be your role as an INEC worker? Ad hoc.
Names now. We are still checking names. We are yet to find our names there.
Just look at the camera over there.
We are checking our names there.
Okay.
It's yet to be confirmed yet.
So, but do you know how much you'll be paid for this job?
We don't know at all. Even for the training, we spent 3 days for training, but we haven't seen our name yet.
What about the monies for the training?
We haven't paid. We were told that we haven't paid for the training.
You haven't been paid for the training?
Yes.
I need to hear it.
We haven't paid for the training. Despite the fact we haven't paid, we have not seen our name. Most of us have not seen our name here.
So have you been able to get across to those inside to see maybe there is another list for INEC ad hoc workers that will be working?
We haven't. We are not able to get to them. We still want to check the name. We are still checking on it now.
All right. So there are lots of lists here. Thank you very much. Thank you. So there are lots of lists here pasted on the wall here for the INEC ad hoc workers who will be working for INEC on Saturday. So this is the much that we have been able to gather. Initially, most of them declined to speak, but I'm quite glad that we're able to get those responses from the lady over there. She said they haven't paid their monies and they are waiting, hoping that will be done as well. We just hope that this kind of issues will not dampen their morale. I will be asking this question to the resident election commissioner when I see him much later today, because these are the kind of things that could hamper and dampen the morale of the ad hoc workers, and they are very, very important when it comes to what will happen on Saturday here in Ekiti State.
All right.
Joe?
Thank you very much for joining us and bringing us that update. Very great that you got to speak with the citizens. We'll continue to update our viewers with regards to what's happening at the elections. Thank you for your time, Israel.
Thank you.
It's time for us here to exit the studio. Jasiri takes over in a few minutes. Thank you very much, Mr.
Thank you very much, Mr. Abibarona. My favorite analyst ever.
A pleasure.
Mr. Abibarona, you're confident tomorrow election will go well?
No. Tomorrow, I'm sure they are well prepared.
Okay.
But I only hope that they will give the electorate the opportunity to pick their leaders.
All right.
Thank you very much.
For us, it's bye-bye. We'll see you on Monday. Take care.